basketball, football, or any other sport, you all at least have one thing in common: the need to be recognized. It doesn't matter if you're trying to get recruited to your dream school or striving to make it to the next level. I'mNextUSA.com is the platform for you.
You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on NGSCSports.com, where you can get awesome analysis for all things sport. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, head to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
Hi, this is Justin Roberts, and you are listening to 3 Count Thursday. Hope you enjoy it.
You're here. What? I'm here.
We're here.
Let's do this.
Best there is, the best there was, or the best there ever will be. What it is what it is.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
You're fired.
What's up, 3 Count Thursday fans? This is Bill Neville from the New Age Insiders. Now here's Jim, Ryan, Matt, and intern Mark, your hosts of 3 Count Thursday.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.
Hello and welcome to 3 Count Thursday live on Facebook.com/3 Count Thursday. We are the podcast of the millennium, and it is Thursday, August the 10th, 2017. We are part of NGSCSports.com. That is our home network. You can check everything out there at NGSCSports.com, as well as the shows on the NGSC Sports Radio Network by going to Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and the TuneIn Radio app. By searching NGSC, podcast our show directly. Subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Android, Google Play, and Stitcher. We also stream daily at LeibSports.com. That is LEEIB Sports.com. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram are all at 3 Count Thursday. You can find that and everything else you need to know about our show on 3CountThursday.com. That is, of course, always the number 3, never the word 3. 3CountThursday.com. We also have a Patreon page there, our shirts at whatamaneuver.net, and much more. So make sure you visit 3CountThursday.com. We have Ryan in studio. And, of course, as you can see, an extra person in studio, intern Mark, making a rare appearance here in studio. Mark, how's it going, bud?
You know, it's going great. Jimmy, you should learn to lock the doors.
Yeah, you did sneak in here on a Thursday night, but it's a rare occurrence. We don't have you every time with us, but it's a good one. Ryan, how are you?
Well, very good, Big Jim, and how are you, man? Intern Mark, this is the most exciting I've been to start a show. This is fantastic.
Yeah,
thanks for having me back. It's not often I get an invitation to come back anywhere.
Well, you did a great job last time. We had a blast. It was about a couple of months ago, I think.
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things. Some of my friends that tuned in. It was a good time. Thank you very much for having me back. It's going to be great.
That's what a good intern does. Thank you for all of your WCWs. Can you explain to our listeners before we get started, like what every Wednesday we post something. It's from the desk of intern Mark, which is slightly less organized than the desk we see in front of us right now. What is your WCW? Is it your Woman Crush Wednesday?
Well, you know it is. It started out on the social networking as Women Crush Wednesday, but when I hear WCW, it's only one thing I think of. That's World Championship Wrestling. So I like to look back every Wednesday at some of the worst stuff, so to speak, of the World Championship Wrestling gimmicks, or possibly some storylines or managers. It's a good time. This week we had Roadblock. Remember the big Roadblock from WCW?
No, I don't.
No, I honestly did not.
I do not.
So that was a first.
How far did you have to dig back to get a Roadblock?
Well,
if you go to WWE Network, I think Roadblock was in December.
Is that what it was?
Oh, but that was a different kind of Roadblock.
Yeah, different kind. No, it's been fun seeing what you come up with each and every week.
Have you had a favorite WCW so far? Of your WCWs, what was your favorite gimmick that we've kind of poked fun at?
I think the most favorite one I have was the Fat Chick Thriller. It was Mike Awesome.
Okay, sure.
When he became the Fat Chick Thriller.
All right.
Yeah.
That was. I think that's my favorite WCW so far.
They need love too.
There was plenty of them.
Absolutely.
There was plenty of those, Mark, that I never heard of. So we appreciate what you do. We have a great guest coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Madi Maxx will be joining us here live. Next week we'll have Gabby Ortiz, and then on Thursday, September the 14th, Killian McMurphy will be joining us here. We have some other great guests coming up, and for all of those, you can, again, check out our website, 3countthursday.com.
Or
what?
www.3countthursday.com.
Mark, are you when you type in a website, do you type out www or do you just type in the web address?
You know what I used to, when I have the computer at home, you sit there, I do the www. But now I catch myself, especially on my mobile devices. I don't do the www anymore.
Yeah, it's
I
kind
just
of
go right in.
You just go straight for
in
the website.
Interesting.
I've changed.
You have,
but
okay, that's fine.
I mean, to be fair to you, Ryan, yes.
I don't even want you to be fair to me anymore.
Either way, it'll get you there.
Just quick shout outs, people that are joining us on the feed so far. What's up, Devin? What's up, Brian? What's up, Ty? Hello, Matt.
We got the winner, Andy.
The
Weinberg.
winner, Andy Weinberg, checked in and said, "Oh boy, the intern is in the house." Mark, you're a winner yourself. You would consider yourself a winner?
There was quite a period of time where I kind of felt like I was a bit of a loser.
Okay.
I felt a little bit down, but the one night in Harrisburg a few years ago when I met the winner, Andy Weinberg, I've been a member of the Winner's Army now for years.
It changed your life.
It changed my life. I am a winner. I have people, when I walk the streets, I have people throwing me up the W, hey, winner. But I can't take the credit because I'm just a member of the Winner's Army. Maybe a general, if you will.
A general in the Winner's Army. Okay, that's fair.
Lots of great people joining us. If you are joining us live,
Andy actually just pointed out that you have a stain in the middle of your shirt.
Ooh,
in the shape
that's rough.
of Andy Weinberg. Whoop, that was a slip.
That's not nice, Ryan.
In the shape of James Ellsworth.
Poor James Ellsworth.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him coming up in a little bit, but let's.
What's up, Steve? Thank you for joining. What's up, Chase? And what's up, Ryan? Also, thank you for checking in with us tonight.
But let's get to our guest. She is joining us here, Madi Maxx. She is back, a second-time guest. Madi, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
We're doing very good. We're glad you can join us again. I think it was just about a year ago that you joined us for the first time. So maybe this is an annual thing. I don't know. We'll have to find out next August.
We'll see.
All right. So since we had you on last, your career's really taken off, including you have won 2 championship belts, the VOW Vixens and OVW Women's title. What would you say you attribute most to your success in the past year?
I would say just the training that I've gotten since I moved to Kentucky about a year ago, and I was under Rip Rogers and Matt Capitelli and OVW just in general. I feel like their training really, really helps and all of that. And then also moving over that way, I was able to take a lot more bookings kind of near the Midwest, and I just think that really helped grow my name. So I think the training really attributes to that.
Awesome. And winning these titles, I imagine, companies that are fairly well known, I would figure that would have to be a pretty big honor for you.
It was, especially OVW. That was such a big honor.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's touch on that. It happened actually a little over a year after you made your in-ring debut when you became the OVW Women's Champion, making you the youngest ever OVW Women's Champion. Congratulations on that. Can you take us through that night and that moment for us? Kind of was there nerves going into that match any different than you've experienced before, just on such a stage of OVW?
Yeah, it definitely was, especially considering that I was facing Rebel from TNA, and she had been the champion for such a long time, and I've never wrestled her before. And just going in and knowing that, OVW trusts you that much and looks up to you that much and thinks that you can carry their name as the top women's competitor was such an honor. And then also knowing that they do think of me this way now and that I'm going to have so much responsibility on me. And the nerves were definitely there. And then it happened so fast, the whole match just happened so fast. And I was champion. I was like, oh, my God, what just happened? And then it took a while to set in, but once it did, it was really, 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 a big honor.
Is that one of the moments you just kind of sit in the back with the belt and just kind of cherish the moment and let it all sink in?
Yeah, I walked to the back and I was like, congratulations, Maddie, all this stuff. And it just it was such a great feeling and such a great night. Like, nothing compares to that feeling.
Awesome.
All right. Obviously, in the past year, you talked about moving. How has and you touched on training probably being the biggest attribute to your success. Is there anything specifically about the training that has changed for you?
I think switching from the training I had here and then going to Rip Rogers' class, it definitely was more basics and basics and basics, and then he completely would tear you down to build you back up, and he just completely pounds and pounds and pounds all this knowledge into your head. You just kind of have to soak it up. So that way the training was different because every single week I was going over basics and basics and basics and technical stuff. But in the end, it helps you so much in a match because you're not even thinking about it, but you're doing all these moves and they look crisp and they look right because you've been, for the past, I would say for like 8 months, just constantly doing the same things, and that's how I think the training changed.
And I would imagine as you know, the time goes on and you know, you kind of maybe even touched on it a little bit there. I would imagine you're adding things to your repertoire in terms of moves and things that you can do because of what you've learned in the past year.
Yeah, like Rip's class, we do all the basics and stuff, but then before shows, because all of the wrestlers at OEW come from all over, so they all know different moves, we would all just teach each other these different things, so every week you're getting something new to add to your repertoire, and that's actually where I learned my finisher is from one of the people there. They just taught it to me one day, and I fell in love with it. But just because there were so many people there and so many different brains going into it, you learned so much from all these people, but then you also had your basics that you go to every single weekend. So all in all, like, it made you a well-rounded wrestler.
Hey, Maddie, this is the 3-Count intern Mark here. Thank you for joining us. My question to you here is a lot of your matches at OVW involve Callie. Did you want to talk about the rivalry you had with Callie and how you two worked together in the ring?
Callie and I definitely had a rivalry for a very long time, and I think because we had one for so long and we were the youngest people in the locker room, that we had a chemistry. That doesn't sound right. We had chemistry and a connection that I don't think a lot of people can find in the ring, and we just understood each other a lot. So when we were working a lot and we did have this big rivalry, we were very, very comfortable with each other, I would say, and we would trust each other, which allowed us to have, I think, a lot better matches than what we would have if we didn't trust each other. So for that rivalry, I say thank you because it made me really, really comfortable in the ring to work with somebody who I'd never even met before I moved to Kentucky, and then next thing you know, we're in a storyline for 8 months, and we're working every single week.
All right. We know that your finishing move is known as the Maddie-licious. For those that don't know what that is, tell us a little bit about the move and maybe how you brought it to be and even how the name came to be.
Well, it's a flipping neck breaker. It's the thing that John Morrison does, the Moonlight Driver. And it came to me because, like I just mentioned, one day before a show, somebody had taught it to me, and I just fell in love with it because it's just such a violent move, but I can do it, too, to anybody, even being 5 feet tall. So it's a really easy move for me to pull out. And then it's called the Maddie-licious just because all my friends call me Diva-licious, and I was like, Maddie-licious, Diva-licious, it just works out.
All right.
Now, Maddie, a few weeks ago, when Raw and SmackDown were in the Atlanta area, you were able to be backstage for the event. How did this opportunity come to be for you? And are there any plans, kind of moving forward, to be more involved in some manner within the WWE that you'd be able to discuss with us tonight?
I just messaged John Cone. Like, I emailed him one day, and I was like, hi, my name's Madison. And I sent him all this information about me. And then he messaged me back because I asked about Greensboro, and he was like, oh, we can't do Greensboro. So he sent me other dates, and I was like, heck yeah. So then I drove to Atlanta, and I was just backstage with them. But going forward, I don't have any plans right now, but that can always change. You never know.
Sure. It's one thing in the wrestling business that stays the same as everything can change.
Maddie, what is your opinion on the current state of women's wrestling, particularly in the WWE. We've noticed, obviously, that they've kind of taken a more serious approach to it as compared to, in the past. Obviously, with the Four Horsewomen and now, of course, the Mae Young Classic. But there was also some, I think, criticism of the booking of the finish of the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Kind of as a female in the industry, what is your take on where the WWE's at with their production of women's wrestling?
It makes me really happy where they're going, because when I was growing up, I still loved WWE and I still loved all the women in it, but I watched like lingerie matches and then models that they turned into wrestlers and all this stuff, and now actually being a wrestler, and I'm not going to say a part of the revolution, but being in wrestling at this time when women are being taken more seriously, it's really, really helpful, not only for the female on like big stages and stuff, but indie wrestlers like me, and then especially the Mae Young Classic, who looks at wrestlers from all across the countries, and they see like it's not about how you look anymore, it's really just about how you wrestle and how you interact and all this stuff. So the fact that WWE is looking at women more seriously and giving them a chance to actually be wrestlers and not just eye candy is really big for female wrestlers and girls in general. And then the Money in the Bank, even though there was criticism about it, it was the first ever Money in the Bank for females. And the fact that they were put on a platform that guys are put on too is huge, and honestly an honor that they look at females enough to say, hey, they can have a match just like the guys can have. And even if people don't agree with the finish, like, it's the first ever one. Yeah, there's going to be mistakes. They're going to learn from them. But the fact that there ever was one is big news in itself.
Hey, Manny, my question to you again here is, this one's about dream opponents. I know you've been asked probably a few times before. Any dream opponents you may have added to some folks you'd like to wrestle?
Well, I always say Taylor Hendricks just because I look up to her and everything she does, moves and everything. But also, I would love to wrestle Tessa Blanchard. She's from North Carolina too, so that would be fun. And then besides that, like Deonna Purrazzo, Rip talks about her so much and put her over so much that I think it would be really, really fun to work with her.
And any types of styles of matches like you like to wrestle in, whether it's maybe a Money in the Bank match or any type of ladder match, things like that?
Money in the Bank would be fun. Cage matches would be fun too. I've done one, but I had guys in there with me. But I think an all-women's cage match would be really exciting to be a part of, or even, honestly, any match.
Now, Maddie, obviously we're in the Pennsylvania area, and we haven't actually been able to see you yet, but are there any plans for you to make it up into the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic area anytime in the future?
I don't have any plans right now, but that doesn't mean I'm not open to it.
We will have to talk to some of the bookers in this area and get you out this way.
We'll spread the word around for sure.
Definitely would love to see you in this area. Are there what are some upcoming events that you do have on the schedule that fans should mark down on their calendars?
Biggest one I have coming up would be WrestleCade in Winston-Salem. I'll be there with Queens of Combat, and then actually on Sunday, Queens of Combat is having a show that I'll be wrestling at. So if you want to meet me, come to WrestleCade. If you want to see me wrestle, go to Queens of Combat that same weekend.
All right, Maddie, and before we let you go here tonight, again, thank you for joining us. But before we let you go, make sure you let people know where they can follow you on social media and keep track of your career.
Okay. So on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, I'm on all of those. You can just type in Madi Maxx, MADIMAXX, and I'll pop right up. So then you can stay connected to what I'm doing, where I am. If you want to message me, you can message me, whatever. And that's it. Thanks for having me, though.
All right, Maddie, thanks again for joining us. And if we don't see you in the next year, maybe we'll talk to you next August.
Hopefully.
All right, take care.
Thank you, you too.
Hey, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Maddie. I think we should nominate Maddie for Miss August in the 3-count calendar.
Well, it's certainly possible, obviously, and I think let's get Matt in here as well. We'll have the whole team No, I accidentally just hit the drop button. Matt, you're gonna have to call back in. I hit instead of hitting unmute, I hit.
We usually do that to the intern.
Oh man.
Yeah, I usually hit
How's
the
it
old
feel,
dump
Matt?
button. He usually hit the old dump button on the intern. We can't do that tonight. I could turn his mic off.
No, I've had that happen to me before.
Yeah, well, you probably deserved it. So hopefully Matt will call back in.
Perhaps.
Oh, I think here he is. He's calling back in now. Sorry about that, Matt. I accidentally hit the old dump button on you.
That's all right. I thought we were getting ready to talk WWE, so you just wanted to get that out of the way before we started.
Fair enough. Mark had the great suggestion of making Madi Maxx Miss August in the 3-count calendar, which if we do a calendar, maybe that'll be a good idea. But she is the Woman of the Week this week, correct?
That is correct.
All right. And voting, voting meaning by likes, of course, going well for the week.
Yeah, she's pretty much right on pace with probably going to hit about 200 votes in total. So that's about what we're averaging for everyone that's on. Some a little more, some a little less, but yeah, she's right there with it.
All right, very good. So the whole team together. I think probably, guys, the first thing
This doesn't happen a lot.
the first thing that we need to do here is
what should we do, Jim?
I think we need to have a tribute. Tribute to
we got to do a tribute
to a one of a kind superstar. So let's take care of that.
Allow yourself to be seduced, enchanted, dazzled, and entranced by all red everything herself, Eva Marie.
Yeah!
That's the way, I like it.
Okay, show's over, folks. Let's move. Bye-bye. Let's pick this thing up. Let's go for it. Top. 1, 2, 3. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.
All right, so of course, kind of I don't even remember what day it was. It might have been last Friday.
It was good, Jim. You've impressed me with your editing skills this week.
Eva Marie confirming that she is no longer with the WWE after 4 years.
I wasn't ready for the You're Fired.
Right?
I really wasn't. We talked about playing her theme song, and we couldn't remember what her theme song really was. But the You're Fired caught me off guard.
Did you pass the tissues, Ryan?
I left them sit.
They're
They're actually
they're
right next to you
over
on
there,
the other side.
next to the old whoopie pies.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
It's finally officially
with
come to
lotion.
an end. She hasn't been back. She hasn't been back with us since the suspension, and I think it was only a matter of time.
Yeah, sure was. And it's shocking because she trained with Spanky, so I just can't believe it.
Yeah. Get this.
Had a hell of a move. That one move.
That roll.
What was that, stale bread number 2 she did, or what was that?
Stale bread.
So
stale bread number 2.
What was you guys your favorite Eva Marie match? Can we talk about our favorite Eva Marie matches?
You know the one. That one. I don't have the clip.
Oh God damn it!
I
Jay.
know. I'm working on it. I have a couple of things loaded in the playlist, but I don't have that clip.
I thought you played it the other day for Matt.
No, I didn't play it the other day for
I
Matt.
could have sworn you did.
No. I'm looking
All right.
here. I'm looking. I don't have it.
Was it there? No.
I don't have it. It's
Awkward
not here.
silence. Awkward
it's
silence.
not here. I'm just going to talk through the awkward silence. No, I don't have it.
Hey,
Sorry.
Mark, I know Jim watched Total Divas. Did you watch the show as well?
I did. It was my guilty pleasure. I watched Total Divas since season 1, day 1. I continue to watch. I watched Total Bellas.
Do you watch Total Bellas?
Yeah, I watched Total
I think
Bellas.
it's coming
new
back soon,
season.
isn't
It is, yeah, the new season.
All right.
We're going to have a baby on the
All
show.
right, you lost me.
Well,
now, Matt, you're a Total Divas fan, correct? You've watched that.
This is why I'm going to miss Eva Marie, because I watched Total Divas solely for like the appearances of her dad, because he was such a dick. Always brightened by day.
I couldn't stand her brother. Between the two of them, well, actually the three of them, her, and I felt bad for Mom.
Yeah.
Her brother was.
Don't look at me like I
Ryan,
have anything to add to
you.
this conversation.
Have you ever watched it, Ryan?
No. I've watched minutes of it, maybe. like actual minutes.
Brian,
Within all right,
have to
here's
watch
the honest to
just
God's
for
truth.
Eva Marie.
I have a total. I have a little studio at my house. I have a Total Divas poster in the studio, but I don't actually. I've never watched the show.
You're not a viewer.
No, I never have, and that's the honest.
For those Facebook Live viewers,
yeah, have you guys watched it?
Have you ever watched Total Divas, and are you a current Total Divas?
And here's the problem: it's just too late for me to get started to watch it. I don't want to be one of those guys.
See, I think you watched it at the beginning, at the first episode.
I watched the very first episode, and I was like, "This is shit."
So you were in at the start. I actually was late.
When I said in at the start, I literally watched 12 minutes, maybe 7 minutes of the start of the program on the E channel.
Now, you don't watch like any reality TV though, right?
I'm not a huge reality TV guy. No.
Okay.
You know what I do love? I love America's Got Talent, and I think all of their decisions on there are accurate and great. I have nothing to complain about for America's Got Talent ever.
I mean, they have really great singers.
I love that they have so many singers on America's Got Talent.
How do you feel about it, man?
If you don't know what we're talking about, Matt, give him your Twitter handle and then tell him to interact with you every Tuesday night.
Oh, no, you don't want to do that. My Twitter is @3CTAffili8. Philly is in Philadelphia and the number 8. Look, I mean, I don't necessarily dislike the singers. There's just a large quantity of it. The problem I have is with the kid dancers, because ultimately the goal of the show is for a Las Vegas act, and who's going to go to Las Vegas and watch 2 6-year-olds mediocrely tap dance across the stage for 45 minutes?
Now, I will back you up on this one this week because they did put a kids dance group through, but they didn't put through to the live shows the kid magician who not only made a deck of cards turn into like clear plastic cards, but then had a card from the deck go into the middle of a Pop-Tart that was in a sealed wrapper. Like, that was so much better than the dancer. So I will back you. I love we're watching SmackDown and I just see the hellfire tweets coming from you and literally if you go check out Matt's Twitter feed and you'll know exactly what we're talking about. It's they're only 2 days old at this point, so you won't have to scroll far.
Right. No, and they were just like you said, hellfire is a good term for it. Jim, I never knew you were a big magician or a big magic fan.
I love magic. I enjoy magic a lot.
Wait, what was that?
What was that?
For all you've done to your bodies.
In magic?
It's still real to me, damn it.
Okay.
It would have been more effective if you had it ready to roll, but hey.
Yeah, it would have been, but I'm not the goddamn sound clip guy.
Oh, well, I mean, you want to sit in this chair?
Nope.
Okay, that's what I thought. Remember we did this a couple weeks ago and you quickly backed off. So.
I didn't back off.
Yeah, you kind of backed off.
Nope.
All right, we got the tribute out of the way. Let's talk a few things. Do we want to talk about Raw and SmackDown, or we want to talk about maybe the hottest button issue of the week?
By that, do you mean Diamond Dallas Page this Saturday, or is that later in the show?
Let's talk about that right now.
At this moment.
This moment right now.
I wasn't ready right now.
I don't know why that would be a hot button issue.
Well, that wasn't the hot button issue. That is the excitement that we were going to talk about later. But Ryan
was the hot button. Well, what hot button issue are you talking about?
Joey Ryan's penis.
Really? I thought you were going to talk about.
I thought you were talking about Leo Rush.
Well,
that's also
be part of it as well, because Jim Cornette weighed in on both situations, actually.
I actually thought you were going to talk about Spanky training another superstar.
Who's he training now?
To become a wrestler.
Is he training somebody now?
That MMA girl, you might have heard of her.
The Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Is that who she's training with?
That's the rumor.
Oh,
that's
shit.
what I've read.
You're kidding.
I've read
she's going to do a hell of a
she's doing professional wrestling training with the Brian Kendrick. First of all, I have to ask
Brian Kendrick.
Devin Hamilton checks in here on the Facebook feed.
Okay.
He said that he was actually on an episode of Total Divas, and no, he doesn't watch anymore. So the guy was actually on it.
Wait, Devin was on?
And yeah, Devin, let us know. Type out kind of what happened, or how you got on the show of Total Divas. Huh. So Devin was actually on the show, and he doesn't even watch that garbage anymore.
Hey, it's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Steve Yell on the Eve channel. Ralph says it's a waste of time. Ralph, thank you for joining us tonight.
All right, so this Saturday, Pro Wrestling Empire is putting on a fan appreciation event that is at the Gold's Gym in Harrisburg, correct?
Correct. If you'd like an address,
yeah, why don't you give us the
type
address?
it into your GPS, or maybe www.mapquest.com.
Or your Google machine.
Or, thanks, Conrad Thompson. It's
I mean, everybody else is copying him. So
not us. That's the first time we've done it. Rumor and innuendo. Perfect podcast.
Well, you know.
Oh, damn it, Ryan. We weren't going to say anything about them this week.
There it was. Sorry.
All right, well, we're moving on.
All right. It's 4251 Chambers Hill Road. That's in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's 4251 Chambers Hill Road, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, from 11 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon.
How much are tickets again?
Tickets for this show are free. Yeah, Mark, free. Do you know how much free is?
I heard
Give me a price. Give me an idea.
Free?
It's free.
It's free.
It's
no
less
money
than
exchange.
$1 to get in. Yeah, less than $1.
Wow. Free.
A free show.
Free wrestling on a Saturday afternoon.
Correct.
Well, I think
free
it's
wrestling.
late morning.
Late morning.
Included in this free admission, we've got a few matches announced so far. Malika Avalon taking on Lance Anoa'i, taking on Laszlo Arpad. He's our Hungarian hero.
Hungarian hero. I'm a big fan.
You are a big fan. I know Brian, Cousin Brian's a pretty big fan. I know he has one of his shirts. I've seen him wear that.
The Sword of Attila.
I have a Sword of Attila shirt.
I also have the Sword of Attila shirt. I do.
Okay.
The Sword.
The Sword of Attila.
And now so far,
to?
That's where it's at. Mr. Ping taking on Stefan Ramon. This is a carryover from their last show when these guys were just brawling all over the place during.
Yeah, I thought our commentary table was going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
But thankfully it did not.
Yeah, they've said that they've gotten a few extra security guards for this
that's
show,
good.
just because of this match.
They could use it.
Yeah, they could.
They need extra security at a free event. Like it's crazy. These guys are going to
at the same time. It is at a gym, so that I'm assuming there are like stronger guys there that could just break it up.
What's a what?
A gym? That's your name.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's where like people go to lift weights, pick things up, put things down.
Gym. Is that
like I pick up a cheeseburger and
That's a restaurant.
And I put it down?
That's a restaurant. These are like weights. Stan Styles does a lot of shit there.
Okay, all right. So,
Yeah.
like the athletic
Yeah,
thing.
the athletic-y thing.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
with the
okay.
weights and the picking up things. And
Okay,
Pick things up and put them down.
Yeah, I think the Red Scorpion was just there with Bro Keller. I saw.
I saw a picture.
That was a gym.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Very foreign to me.
Glad we, yeah, no doubt. So back to the Devin story. Devin was apparently like pulling an Aubrey Rose and was in the hotel lobby and he was in the background when they were leaving. So I'm not saying he was pulling an Aubrey Rose, Devin. I'm just ribbing you a little bit, just joking. But I'm assuming he was just kind of in the background and he can be seen, so he didn't like have an acting role or anything on it.
But
like
Diamond Dallas
Devin like portrayed maybe one of Natty's cats for an episode or something like that.
It wasn't that.
Was
you
not
never
that.
know. But this Saturday, part of the PWE fan appreciation event, Diamond Dallas Page will be there. Now, the event is free.
That's
however,
correct.
To the meet and greet and autographs, pictures, and that are not free.
That is correct.
What I think it's
that is $25 for a picture and an autograph.
Okay, that's a good price.
$10 for each additional picture or item that you'd want signed.
All right,
so that's fantastic.
That is a great price.
We can take our DDP yoga posters and get them signed.
Yeah, we'll do that.
You still have your DVDs in the box sealed.
I actually did it for a couple weeks. And then I fell real hard.
I was gonna say, you fell off hard
off that.
That's
But
all right.
man, I'm not gonna lie.
I've had the DVDs sitting in my house for a long time.
I don't do this often, and I'm not putting it over because we're gonna meet him this weekend. But the 3 weeks that I did the DDP yoga, I felt better. I my back never hurt. I slept better. It was a fantastic, and I can't wait to get back on track.
Were you following the diet?
Absolutely was.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I was making like they have a chicken salad recipe that's delicious.
What they have chicken salad?
Chicken salad, a chicken salad recipe.
What goes in a chicken salad?
This one actually had grapes, and well, you know.
What'd you do with the grapes? Any walnuts? Or?
That one did not have walnuts.
No
this one
walnuts.
had what was it? Shit.
Do you chop them up?
You chop them up and
celery.
It has some celery.
Celery.
I don't know if it has celery. I don't think it had celery. I don't know. They had a really good broccoli salad recipe too. If you can find the DDP broccoli cauliflower salad recipe, that is bonkers delicious. But
broccoli cauliflower.
If you haven't tried it, I recommend trying it. It's for sure. It is something that's fantastic. It really, really is. And maybe someday Jim and I will motivate our fat asses and we'll go on the journey together. And
maybe that'll be a bonus video.
A bonus video. There we go.
Or a video on our YouTube page.
That's what that'll be our topless episode.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
That'll get the viewers in.
That'll do it. So again, it's 11-4 this Saturday, August the 12th. 4251 Chambers Hill Road. It's the Gold Gym in Harrisburg. We also have Kevin Murphy teaming up with Richie Nightmare and Ryan Colby, the original Hollywood's finest.
Wow.
Taking on Horrorcore, which is Suicide Myers, and Cypress Parker, and they're going to have a mystery opponent. So a lot of mystery abound in there. This one
mystery partner
could be Big Jim's in-ring debut.
Could be. You never know. You're gonna have to. You're going to show
doing
up.
that DDP yoga for a reason.
That's right.
There it is.
You're gonna have to show up to find out if this is the month I get in the ring.
Free photo op and autograph signing with Facade and Danny Moe. Part of your admission.
Ooh,
So your free admission, you also get a free photo op and autograph signing
with the PWE champion.
With the PWE
but
champion.
now this is his final appearance in the U.S. for a year. He's going to actually be going to India.
I believe so. Yeah.
He made that announcement a couple of weeks back. Facade, this is the last time you can see him in the U.S. for a year. So, that's a huge thing to get out and see him and give him the well wishes and everything for the trip and the time over in India.
Correct. Absolutely.
It's going to be a great event.
It is. It really is.
Again, free.
I think also
free.
Your
Free?
PWE Women's Champion
Free.
Vanity's going to be there. There's going to be
The OG doll.
ticket raffles to support local charities, food trucks. Hello.
So much for the DDP yoga.
Yeah.
Bring on the food
Do you think
truck.
he's going to be sitting at his table going,
Just watching
just
me.
watching,
Right.
shaming
Scowling as I eat
everybody?
street tacos. Live music, games, and vendors, pro wrestling matches, all the PWE stars. It's going to be a great time. Again, it's the Fan Appreciation Show. It's free. It's 11-4. The Gold's Gym in Harrisburg. Jim, you called somebody out. Do you think that's going to happen?
The person I called out is it's not going to
Not
be
going to
there.
be there.
The general manager, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if general manager Eric Bischoff is going to be there. He hasn't been advertised. But the
So it sounds like no general managers might be there.
yeah. We will be there. The voices of PWE will be there.
We will.
So I
think we're going to set up and we're going to maybe do a podcast there.
We're gonna have our
So if
we're
you're
gonna have our
listening, come over.
podcast area set up. We're
Say hello. We can
gonna have
record
our
your
video
thoughts.
camera.
Oh,
I don't know.
even better.
I don't know what all we're gonna do.
Maybe
but,
we'll do a little video, like get your thoughts on PWE, what your favorite match was in the PWE.
Yeah,
who's your favorite
we're gonna
guest.
be there.
Maybe get some, I don't know, Macho Man
Mark,
impersonations.
you're gonna be there. I
I'm
assume.
feeling sick. I may have to call off that day.
Oh, okay.
You
all right.
look fluish.
Oh, I'll be there.
You look fluish.
I feel fluish.
You look like the James Ellsworth.
I got that bird flu that's going around.
Oh, the old bird flu.
Bird flu.
Matt will be there. We're all going to be there. We're all going to be there on Saturday. So stop by and say hi to us as well. It's going to be. It's truly going to be a great time. I'm looking forward to this event, and hopefully getting to meet some more of the PWE fan base and continue to support that company.
Gonna be a good time.
And you get to meet the Neon Ninja and Danny Moe for free.
And intern Mark for free.
You can meet me for free. Absolutely. Come on by, say hi, take a selfie.
The only thing that you have to pay for is obviously food at those food trucks and the meet and greet with Diamond Dallas Page. Everything else is free. That's awesome. And I know there's tons of other great shows. We have a bunch. They're all up on our website, 3countthursday.com. There are tons of shows that you'll be able to attend this and probably still make it to most of them. So get out and support independent wrestling, folks. We can't say that enough each and every week. And reiterate again, if you, no matter where you're listening to this, if you don't know where there's a company near you reach out to us on social media or an email, anything like that. We will we'll do our best to find a company as close to you as possible, because we think it is absolutely important to support independent wrestling and the guys that are out there, guys and girls out there that are busting their ass.
Absolutely. Well said, Jim. And again, it's the 3countthursday.com/upcoming-independent-wrestling-shows. If you wanted to type it in or just go to our website. Some shows that are running that night. MCW is presenting Final Hour. This is Leo Rush's final wrestling match in MCW Pro Wrestling. I believe it's his final match on the independent scene.
It is.
We're going to talk about that. H2O is presenting Brutality, A Night of Violence. That's at the CZW Academy out in Blackwood, New Jersey. Excellence Pro Wrestling's back, Jim.
Excellence is back.
Excellence is back.
We went to a show up there last winter.
Yeah, it was snowing.
Fall, last winter. And
maybe November was one of those odd snowy things.
Yeah, like it snowed in the morning, and it was done by like 9 a.m. And yeah, we went up there, checked it out. The company kind of went quiet for a few months, but they are back. It's a cool environment, cool place up there at the Forest Lodge, right?
Right up in Sellersville.
I know it's relatively easily accessible from the turnpike. The way we went there was the most ass backwards drive I've ever had.
Yeah, they were long,
and then when we
roads.
left, we actually determined that it was just like past the Forest Lodge. There's pretty much, you get right on the turnpike, so it's really not hard to get to. Check it out, a great company there. Tons of great independent wrestling this Saturday.
Absolutely, they're putting on Fandemonium. They also have a seminar that fans can actually go to.
Wow.
With Mike Quackenbush, which is really, really cool. And then Chaotic Wrestling. Oh no, that's next week. So yeah, there's what, 4 shows.
Yeah, 4 shows this Saturday alone.
Come out and support independent wrestling with us. It's going to be a great time.
So you could take in 2 of those shows. You got PWE in the morning, early afternoon.
Right, and go down and watch Leo Rush's final match.
Final hour, head up to Sellersville.
What? I heard Andy Weinberg's not going to be able to make that MCW show. He's still reeling and dealing with the effects.
Just a sick attack.
It was unnecessary. And
so I'm the only guy that thinks he probably deserved it.
I'm pretty sure that's
fair enough.
The views of Ryan do not reflect that of 3 Count Thursday.
Charlie, Evolve is actually running a show tomorrow night, I believe, down in Joppa, Maryland, in the MCW arena. So Evolve is definitely very active on the East Coast. So you can check that out tomorrow. Maybe we ought to throw up some Evolve site. I know a lot of people are interested in Evolve Wrestling up on our site as well. But right out in Joppa, Maryland, it's a really easy drive. It's pretty much straight down from York.
I haven't made it down there yet. Definitely need to do that.
Oh, it's a good time. It really, really is. Doors are opening at 6 there. Bell time is 7:30.
Okay. All right, let's talk about Joey Ryan and Mick Foley, and then we'll talk about Leo Rush as well, because Jim Cornette kind of weighed in on both of them. But there's been a lot of buzz this week because Mick Foley, and this was. What show was this at?
I'm actually not even sure what show it was at. I can look it up for you.
Yeah, you can look it up. But Mick Foley and Mr. Sacco took the Joey Ryan. Is there actually a name for that move?
There is.
What is the name of that move?
It is a sponsored move, Jim.
It is a sponsored move.
Correct. So the move is sponsored, Jim, by a promotion, I guess, is what you would call it. It is the YouPornplex.
So it's sponsored by a porn site.
By YouPorn.
Okay.
It is the YouPornplex.
Okay.
You can look it up on Wikipedia. It's actually one of his signature moves. It's not actually one of his finishers. I think they have it listed as a signature move. It is the YouPornplex. Swear to God, in the description it says a crotch flip with theatrics. Like crotch flip is now a wrestling move that when you click on crotch flip, it takes you to a list of wrestling moves.
That's the way to describe it.
A crotch flip with theatrics, and it has been active from 2015 to It's present.
So Mick Foley made an appearance at a show last weekend, and took the YouPornplex.
Correct.
With Mr. Sacco. Mr. Sacco, and Mick Foley took the move, and just the universe, the Twitter universe, the internet wrestling universe exploded.
What's not the first time that people have had issues with this?
No, not at all. But I don't think we've ever really talked about kind of the reaction to it and just kind of, I think our complete take on it.
I'm excited to. We're going to do that tonight.
We're going to do that right now.
Right here on 3 Count Thursday.
Right here. So let me preface the opinion by just saying I think it's the stupidest move I've ever seen.
Okay.
I think it's ridiculous.
Okay.
It is, and I know, I am a guy that will buy into a lot of things that are over the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's way over the top for me.
Okay.
What is your, before we get into the Mick Foley thing and all of that, what is your take on the move itself?
I have absolutely no problem with it. Zero problem with the move.
Okay.
I mean, literally in the intro, you had said Mick Foley and Mr. Sacco. You addressed it as Mick Foley and Mr. Sacco.
Oh, I mean, I wanted to
as a separate entity.
Well, I mean, Mr.
got
Sacco is there
pornplexed by Joey Ryan's penis.
Correct.
So you literally included a sock in your introduction,
Well,
and you
I
have
mean,
a problem with a guy using his dick to flip something.
I'm
just
okay,
letting you know what
all right.
And nobody, as you can listen back to it, and everybody, the first listen will say, "Yeah, Mick Foley, and Mr. Sacco."
Right.
That's fine.
Everybody's
That's totally
aware.
acceptable.
Yeah, totally. Matt, what is your take on the move itself?
Love it.
Okay. Mark.
You know what? I like it a lot. I think Joey Ryan would have fit in perfectly with that move in the Attitude Era of WWE.
You're actually really accurate there.
It would have been fantastic.
Absolutely.
All right, now
Jim, because you're the one who doesn't like it.
Correct.
The move is, and I agree, it's fucking carny as hell. I'm not going to
and
deny
yeah.
that. Is that the reason you don't like it? It's just
it's
you can't. I don't want to say you can't suspend believability enough, but there's no way humanly possible that a penis could flip another man. Is that the reason?
I've seen the move multiple times. I've seen people tweet it and tweet videos of it. Whenever it happens to a bigger name superstar, anything like that, it does create somewhat of a buzz. And even the first time I saw it, I'm just like, what the hell am I watching? And I've just thought it's the dumbest thing. I really did. I've always thought it's really about the dumbest thing I've ever seen. That being said, I don't have a problem with the fact that people enjoy it and get entertainment by it. Because I think one of the things too that struck the Jim Cornettes of the world, even more, because the Jim Cornettes of the world do not like Joey Ryan, hate Joey Ryan,
right?
But is that not only that Mick Foley was there, but that Mick Foley I think even tweeted out and posted on his Facebook that the faces in the crowd that are smiling and entertained, that's what's truly important.
Correct.
And I think that's the Jim Cornettes of the world really reacted to that and is like, no, that's not what it's about. It should be about protecting wrestling and this being over the top, and yet they get so offended by this move. And again, dumbest move I've ever seen, but I don't care if people find it entertaining, because there's probably things that I find entertaining that other people think is stupid or over the top or whatever, what have you.
Dallas Cowboys football.
Sure. But in terms of wrestling, Ryan,
sharpshooter.
Okay.
Bret Hart general.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
We're painting with wide strokes here tonight, folks. Go ahead, Jim.
What an asshole. My stance has kind of always been, it's wrestling in all of its forms is observed and liked or disliked by each individual person.
Subjectively.
So
it goes back to that conversation we had.
Absolutely.
And then the fight we had with another snob about wrestling.
But it is. It's subjective.
Correct.
To anything that you watch or can consume is subjective. Video games are subjective. Sports are subjective. TV shows, everything.
Right.
And I've always said if you don't like something, just don't watch it. Don't consume it. Like and
Jim, you're not a big soccer fan.
I am not.
It is probably the most popular sport in the world.
I think
it just doesn't speak to you when you're not a fan.
Yeah.
So how much soccer do you watch a year?
Let
me ask you this. Is the World Cup a yearly event, or is it every 4 years?
World Cup's every 4 years. I do know that.
Oh, okay.
I may catch a moment or two of soccer in passing, but
like
I
flipping
don't.
up through ESPN to ESPN2 to the USA Network or something
to
like
the
that.
Ocho to ESPN 8.
Oh, the Ocho. I forgot about that.
But no, it's like I don't have I don't review episodes of Grey's Anatomy, like I because I don't watch Grey's Anatomy, and I think I saw Joey Ryan tweet one time something along the lines of, "There's nothing that I do in the ring that is any more," I don't know if he used the word fake, but any more fake than an Irish whip.
He used the Irish whip.
Literally, like if you think about it, like an Irish whip is a ridiculous move, because why are you running to the other corner? Why are you running to the other rope?
What about the crisscross? Remember the crisscross? The one
where you're like do-si-do in the middle of the ring?
Yeah, that was
right.
Very big in the 80s. Not so much anymore.
I see it every now and again on the indies, but exactly, like that's ridiculous. If you really want to break it down, if you want to get really technical about it, a lot of the things that you're watching, even in some of your more traditional wrestling companies, are wrestling's a show.
Yes.
Whether people want to admit it or not, it's a show.
So Cage Side Seats today tweeted about Jim Cornette ranting about Mick Foley taking the penis plex. Joey Ryan retweeted or quote tweeted that and said, "The irony of him riding my dick about my dick isn't lost on me." So he's having fun with it.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think he tweeted something about like waking up the next morning and hearing about all this and me counting my money on the way to the bank.
I think he I know Cornette said something about Joey Ryan not Cornette making more money, and I think Joey Ryan tweeted something about let's compare tax returns.
Yep, pretty simple. Actually just
but even back on Monday or Tuesday, somebody tweeted at him, at Joey Ryan, "I'm almost afraid to ask, but why can't they just let go of your penis? Do you have tentacles for pubic hair?" And he said, "Same reason we can't stop running when someone gives us an Irish whip."
Right. He claims that his dick is the most protected move in wrestling since the pedigree, and that he is actually the poster boy for respecting kayfabe.
Somebody tweeted at him as well. I had screenshot a couple of these because I knew we were going to talk about this. How long before you learn a shoot, hold, and kill off the dick spot? What's better, the money or respect? He goes, "Why would I shoot? I'm in a worked sport where the only way to measure success is the amount of money you can make. That's the respect."
There it is. Bingo.
Boom.
Sean Walton, X-Pac, tweeted him and said, "It seems like the more you keep trying to kill the business, the better business gets. You suck at killing shit." True.
Yeah.
Noel Foley.
Somebody said, "Oh, go ahead."
"Only in wrestling can your dad grab another man's junk for 37 seconds and it considered normal." Very true. For Christ's sakes, like, people are having fun with this, and shame on you for having fun watching wrestling.
A guy said, or someone says, "Wrestling has been on a steady downslide since March 26, 2001. I see no upswing." He quote retweets. He says, "How long do I need to kill the business before it dies, or even shows any damage? Because wrestling is in a fantastic upswing right now." And I mean, if you follow him on Twitter, he actually is a really great follow, because again, he is kind of he's having fun with this.
Yeah, but Jim, fun and wrestling just don't belong.
Of course not.
I mean, I don't. how many times are we going to have to do this? You know, the next time somebody of decent celebrity, not on the indies, I guess, you know, gets dick tossed. You know, and then we're going to talk about it again.
It's going to be the same reaction from people. But again,
every time. Little known fact, my very first commentary gig at Atomic Championship Wrestling, Joey Ryan was a special guest. So naturally, I'm going to hold, and this is going to sound weird, like a special place in my heart for Joey Ryan because he was the special guest at the very first show I ever commentated, which was cool to me. But that's that. That's my little Joey Ryan story. But again, I have no problem. Like as a commentary guy, and you're watching and you're calling what you're seeing in the ring. You know, you call it like, you know, what his dick has these magical powers, whatever it is. You know, and he fucking porn plexes him.
Yeah, I mean,
like here's the deal: if I tried to suplex Mark right now without any assistance, it's not going to happen. Whether I'm a trained wrestler, whether I look like the Red Scorpion, Mark Hazler, or not, like, and you're not a huge guy, but to pick you up vertically and drop you through this table without help, like I mean, and I get the idea of protecting it as a shoot and it real, but the reality is, just
here's the thing.
Just
like
stop running.
I think you know, somebody with like the strength of the Red Scorpion could you know suplex somebody who's, you know, kind of like a string bean. Just not one of us.
Just saying, no,
not one of us, but based on strength. But if it's two people of about the same size, or the person you're trying to suplex is bigger, you're right. Like you're not going to just be able to pick them up,
right?
Like, or it's not going to go like nearly as easily as you see it in
like
wrestling.
Why does a punch in the UFC knock somebody out, but you can just throw haymakers across the ring and you just back a guy into
like
a corner
the back and forth
in
punch
professional
spot.
wrestling, right?
Because I mean, it's almost like wrestling is the dog's barking.
We've upset the dog.
God.
He upset Skip.
Well,
now.
he is a fan of the porn plex.
He just wants to be a part of the discussion.
It's all right, Skip.
He's all worked up. He's hot and bothered.
Yeah, I mean, I think people, and again, maybe it's a generational thing for me, because, you know, I grew up and we grew up in the WWF era, where everything was more entertainment. Had the entertainment side to it.
But then it goes back to wrestling being subjective and what you prefer over what you don't prefer.
Sure. And here's the thing, too. When I hear the Jim Cornette of the world talk about, like, protecting the business and protecting the sanctity of professional wrestling, wasn't professional wrestling like a sideshow?
It was like a circusy sort of.
I mean, it was legitimately like
there are terms like, I think that's like the term Marcus as a Carney style term. Things
Right.
like that have been adapted in the pro wrestling business, correct?
I mean, it was more or less a sideshow, and then it kind of was respected, and it really was kind of respected as more of a sport. And then when Vince McMahon started getting busted for steroids, it was like, whoa, it's a show. It's not real.
Right. I mean, and here's the deal. I'm never going to take offense to somebody that wants to watch a strong style wrestling match.
No.
Or a style.
That's what they like.
You know, years ago, where it's a great chain wrestling and they're working holds and things like that. I'm not upset by that. I'm not going to swear off of pro wrestling because you enjoy a style of pro wrestling that I don't.
Right.
You know, so I like my pro wrestling with a little bit more showmanship.
I mean,
you like yours with a little bit more sport. That's fine.
Right, and I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about a spot in a CZW match. I mean, there's a company that literally every summer holds the Tournament of Death.
Correct.
I mean, it's out in a field, and it's all death matches.
That is correct.
Like, I will never go to a Tournament of Death.
Ever.
I have no interest.
Okay.
If I go to a CZW show and there's a death match on the card, I'm not going to walk away.
Right.
I'm not going to leave the show. But the death match thing really isn't for me. It's just not. I think
Sure.
it's crazy. I think it's nuts. There's people, obviously, if you've seen pictures or videos of the Tournament of Death, there's tons of people there.
I believe this most recent Tournament of Death was like their highest selling ticket Tournament of Death.
There's
Correct.
tons of people there that love it.
Correct.
Are they wrong for loving it? No. That's what they like.
Here's the deal. I mean, it's not up my alley. I don't necessarily understand. Like, here's the deal. Like, I don't mind somebody getting a little hardcore. I don't mind somebody even going to, like, the deathmatch realm if it makes sense in the context of, like, this is where our feud's taking us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of more of an elevated, like, regular match, second match, rubber match, cage match, sort of thing
Sure,
like that.
the
elevation of matches.
Like you're saying, like the first match between two guys should not be a death match.
Kind of feeling that way, unless they're like two death match stars and you want to see
Fair
who
enough.
the best death match wrestler is of those two. Again, I'd probably never go to a tournament of death myself, but I loved Once in a Lifetime this past weekend on High Spots. They had the live feed. I wish I could have made it down there to the Voorhees, New Jersey, to actually see the show live.
Yeah, I need to get down to a
Matt
show
and
there
I
as
have
well.
been to a CZW show. Matt, what is your take on? I guess
The last half an hour that we've been discussing.
Yeah.
What's my take on death matches, or
Just I guess as wrestling being looked at like an objective or a subjective sport entertainment, like is there a wrong way to enjoy pro wrestling?
no, not necessarily. I mean, people are gonna like what they're gonna like. It's the same with any kind of thing, I guess, with TV shows, movies, music. I mean, there's different styles of different things. So just because, I like hip hop and Lauren enjoys punk and screamo, that doesn't mean that I think that she has a wrong opinion of music. That's just the way the two of us are.
Yeah, and I mean, I've always been more of like a comedy movie guy, comedy and sports movies. There's people who are into action and thrillers and dramas and horror. I really don't like horror movies, but like with I think with any entertainment, it comes.
But folks, he loves horror movies.
Horror movies. I love horror movies.
Jim's a big horror movie fan. I did not know that.
Loves the horror.
Loves them.
Mark, what's your thought on all of this? Like, I mean, is wrestling subjective? Should it be subjective?
Well, I think it was Eric Bischoff was talking about wrestling kind of being like a buffet or a smorgasbord, where you have different people there. You're gonna have the people there to go for, say, the fried chicken. Then you have the people that like the steak. So I think the variety, it's what keeps the wrestling going. Not everybody has to like the hardcore style of wrestling or the standard kind of shoot fighting wrestling, or whatever the case may be. So I think the variety is that's what keeps the business exciting.
I mean, if you go down to like
the crazy thing is, I love fried chicken and I love steak, and I think it's a great example. Like, even if you don't love something, it's okay to try something and be like, you know what?
Sure,
this actually isn't for me, but I'm glad I tried it, and I can respect why people do like that.
Here's the thing, I
need to go to a smorgasbord. Where's Desi Dorado?
You know,
Let's get her back in here.
I've always like Chinese food. I was at a Chinese buffet where they have sushi. I've never tried sushi before. I was like, a lot of my friends enjoy it. I'll try it. I liked it. I know people that don't. Like, again, it goes back. Anything truly is subjective. There's nothing wrong with, enjoying, seeing the YouPornplex.
Right.
Like, again, I don't like it. I don't think I'll ever come around and be like.
There is something wrong, Jim, with liking Chinese buffet sushi. Like,
what's wrong with that?
Salmonella's what's wrong with that?
I mean, you have a gut like mine, you're fine.
He actually has a point. I've seen him ingest shit he shouldn't have ever ingested and been fine with it.
What about the Dragonfly buffet down there? That's pretty good sushi.
I don't even know which
the one
that
just
is.
outside of Lancaster.
Yeah, the one right down. Is it Dragonfly or something? It's pretty good.
I think it's just Dragon.
The Dragon?
Yeah.
They dropped the fly, so it's just Dragon buffet.
Yeah, they got rid of it. They don't serve fly anymore.
Fly is off the menu. I noticed the stray cats in the neighborhood have kind of gone away since they opened too.
But I mean, like, you drive down to King of Prussia and you can within minutes of each other go to a McDonald's or a Morton Steakhouse.
Right.
I mean, it's dramatically different. I'd be fine going to either of them.
Right, in a pinch, sure. I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, I'll make, if it's an anniversary, I'll go to Morton's. If it's
guys, if you're listening on the Facebook feed, what's your thought on Joey Ryan and his penis?
Well, let's look at it this way. Mark, you frequent Hershey Park often. I'd say that's a fair comment to make, right?
Yeah, I was there this afternoon. Yeah, that is a fair comment. I like where you're going with
when
this,
you
man.
go to Hershey Park, what are the things that you like to do when you're at Hershey Park?
Well, you know what? There's
God, how much time do you have
yeah,
here,
I
Matt?
mean, this is gonna. We got a few hours here. All right, for example, I
Like
enjoy.
judging by your posts, I'd say skee ball, milkshakes, Zoo America is the ABCs of Market Hershey Park.
Boy, it's like you know me, man. You nailed it. You know, it's like when you go in the arcade. There's some people that like the pinball machines.
Mm-hmm.
I like the skee ball machines.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you know,
I'm not even upset at you liking
Are you
skee
upset?
ball.
I like it a lot.
Right.
I like sometimes I want to play Wrestle Fast or Superstars, WWF Superstars.
Why wouldn't you? We should probably steal that machine.
I would,
Probably should.
I would like to.
I'd love
It's
to get
the
one of those
variety.
machines.
That would be fantastic.
You know, could I go out on a side note? I was playing Superstars today, and that game is rigged.
Is it rigged?
I was against Andre the Giant, Ted DiBiase for the tag team titles. I was Hogan and the Macho Man, and Andre the Giant. Every time he came in there, just kicked my
Just
ass.
kills you.
He killed. He beat me by 1 second on a count out. They give you 20 seconds to get in.
20.
I thought I was going to have him, and that
Yeah.
he got in there. I was 1 second away from winning.
Oh my God!
Can't beat Andre.
If I
Horrible.
can't beat Andre, but anyway.
At the end, Hogan must pose.
If there's any Hogan must pose. Hogan got his ass kicked today, I'm afraid to say.
Like Ryan, you like playing the coin games that drop the coins and the tokens and the cards.
Correct. Right.
You get really pissy if
Yeah, I do. I really don't.
somebody
Yeah.
gets cards and you
Down
don't.
there at the Marty's Playland. Absolutely love it.
I
That's
think
an Ocean City shout out. Go check out Marty's Playland.
Marty's Playland.
Love it. It's my favorite place on the boardwalk.
But yeah, I mean it's. I just I don't understand, and I guess maybe like my final point on this topic.
Let's hear it, Jim.
Is that I just don't understand the person who will always look for the. I don't want to say necessarily like the negative, but it is always just takes that hard stance of, you know, it can't be this. You can't enjoy this. You have to only like this. It has to only be this way. Like, why? Like, why is it like that?
Does it sound hypocritical for me to say, like, I have no problem with Joey Ryan's YouPornplex, but I also understand where Jim Cornette's coming from? Because
No, I don't think that's hypocritical because Jim Cornette is from a time where I don't think that would have been viewed as okay.
That's fair.
Where wrestling was more of a serious sport and not the entertainment side. So I don't even necessarily think that Jim Cornette is wrong. I don't totally get that stance.
Okay.
Like I don't be like, and I think it goes back to kind of, you know, where I've always said to you guys, like off air, if you know, if I hit a point where, you know, I hate wrestling or I hate, you know, I hate the WWE, hate wrestling enough, or I'm just kind of tired and I'm over it, like that's when I'm done with the show. You guys can continue to roll with the show. But like, I'm not going to force myself to watch or force myself to talk about something if I don't enjoy it anymore.
Yeah, I think once it stops becoming fun, it's time to
I don't,
let it
because
go.
I mean there was a time, and I mean it was partially when I was in college and I found other things to do than watch wrestling on a Monday
Alcohol.
night.
He's talking about alcohol.
Yes, I'm
folks.
talking about alcohol. But in the same time, once I was out of college, I had a hard time getting back into wrestling. I would turn on an episode of Monday Night where I was just like, man, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea who a lot of people are. And so I didn't watch for a few years, and go ahead and get ready to barf, Matt. But it was before WrestleMania 26 when Bret Hart, you know, came back to the WWE and had his match. If I'm not even going to call it a match, his quote match with Vince McMahon.
Did he come down in a wheelchair?
He did not come down in a wheelchair.
He has been in a wheelchair in the ring before.
He has been in a wheelchair in the ring before. But that's honest to God where it started, because one time I was just trying to estimate how much money I've spent on WWE merchandise since that time. And that the Bret Hart shirt from when he came back, that was the first shirt that I actually ever like bought on the WWE shop. And honestly, at the start, it was like one, and then it was an order like 6 months later. Then it's gotten to the point where it is just a disgusting amount of orders, sometimes multiple in a week. It's sad, it really. But that's what got me back into it. And
Ralph, we found other things beside booze too. We just didn't want to say it on the air.
It's been fun for me. I probably love wrestling and the WWE more than I ever have. And I think it's because of this show. I think it's because of what we do
Now, did
with
you
a
say
lot of
WWE
these.
or wrestling there?
I said both.
Oh, okay. I
said wrestling and the WWE.
So wrestling and sports entertainment, just to clarify for everybody that might be listening
Well,
from the
I wrestling and the World Wrestling Entertainment.
Okay. So you do want to keep them separated, though.
No,
Okay.
no.
You just wanted to clarify.
Yes, that I enjoy both.
Okay.
I think because like independent wrestling, I never went to indie shows.
Sure, we weren't huge indie fans, right?
And until the last couple of years. So, I mean, I think that and this show has actually made me love all wrestling more than I ever have.
Okay, that's fair. I approve of
I'm not
that.
asking for approval. I don't need
You've
approval.
You've earned the approval.
I don't need approval.
Scott on the live feed said Scott loves Joey Ryan.
Okay,
and I agree. Zach Daniel says he doesn't hate wrestling; he just never watched it, and he loves you, Big Jim.
I love you too, Zach.
So that's nice. Scott said he didn't really watch from 2005 to 2013.
Okay,
which is most of Cena's run. That he also didn't really care for watching much of wrestling in college. Was busy chasing women. So
fair enough.
Again, things that we can also totally agree with. Anything else about Joey Ryan's dong?
I kind of like his dong.
That got weird.
That got real weird.
Why'd you have to look me in the eyes when you said that?
He wanted to make sure you were aware of it.
I wanted you to know. It's been on my mind for a while, and I figured
you're always on
my mind.
Man.
All right, so let's talk about Leo Rush then.
All right. What was this? Because you watched the
I did.
show.
I loved the show. I thought it was great.
Now we went Tuesday night after SmackDown. I was at your house. You
let me
have the high spots. Go
yeah,
ahead.
let me bitch about high spots for a second.
All right,
It
go
took
ahead.
forever to get the damn feed up. Missed almost the whole first half of the show, and I get that it's tough and there were issues, but I just thought they could have handled that much better, and they were surprised by the amount of people that tuned in for it, but didn't necessarily get surprised by the amount of subscriptions they had probably heading into the show. Billed as a once-in-a-lifetime show from CZW, I just felt like they could have had a little bit better support on their servers, things like that. They eventually got like backup servers and emergency things up and running. So I caught the two matches that I really was interested in. So at the end of the day, I really wasn't that upset.
Have they always streamed them live?
They do
Ryan?
not. They do not. Okay. And honestly, I get it's a lot to stream live. Flow Slam really has a good grasp on.
I mean, hell, the WWE Network can't even pull off a good stream.
Right, half the time.
It's the damn WWE.
Right. So, whatever. It's $9.99 a month for the content that you get from High Spots. It's absolutely worth it. You get Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. You get CZW. Defy. I mean, there's plenty of freaking wrestling out there. Progress. It's worth it. It's worth every dollar. I'm going to co-sign that every single day. Check out High Spots Radio or High Spots
Wrestling Network.
Wrestling Network. Absolutely. We'll throw the link up on our page. I've never had a problem with them. And again, it's live streaming. Shit'll happen. I really wanted to watch the big match, Onita versus Matt Tremont, in the once in a lifetime battle. But the match before that, it was Leo Rush's last match in CZW, him versus the bad boy Joey Janela. Match that I thought absolutely delivered. They tore the house down. But the big spot and everybody was bitching about coming out of this was a giant power bomb off of a ladder through a table that Leo Rush no-sold.
Right. I mean, literally
no-sold right up. Like power bomb, he was up before Joey Janela was up.
And what happened right after it though? When I watched the match,
this would be my critique from it. Right after that spot, it took a package pile driver, and then that kept him down for an
A near
almost
fall.
3 count. For a
Yeah,
near
he was
fall,
a
right.
near fall.
Right. It was 2 3/4 seconds,
Right.
if you will. So the package pile driver is a more impactful move than a ladder spot. And here's the deal. Like, you have to suspend the believability of it. And that Leo Rush got taken to a different spot. The Black Heart of CZW taking on the bad boy Joey Janela, feud that's been going on for a while. I don't know. It's just shit. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, but you have to suspend believability because through that match, there was a super kick. Joey Janela was sitting down, super kick, flush on the face, that Janela no-sold and hopped right up and hit him with a clothesline. So there was no selling going on throughout the match. And I get the idea that it's a huge spot off of a ladder through a table. Probably should have been sold a little bit more than hopping up. But here's my take on that. From the entire show of CZW, people are talking about that Leo Rush spot. Good, bad, and different, that's what people are talking about.
Right.
They're not talking about the Matt Tremont versus Onita match with the exploding baseball bats, the barbed wire ring ropes. They're not talking about that. Jim Cornette's not mentioning the fact that Onita's retiring and Matt Tremont's going to end up in Japan for an explosion match.
Cornette went off about.
I mean, Cornette and deathmatch wrestling just don't belong.
Right,
in
but
the same
Cornette
sentence.
went off about this spot in particular, and if you go to MLW Radio's website, find the Jim Cornette Experience. Started about 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 30 seconds, and you'll hear him give his thoughts on this.
That's fair. Thank you.
And I'm not going to play it here because it is it is kind of a long drawn, but.
And it's their content. You ought to go listen to their show anyway.
Absolutely, sure. I love the Jim Cornette Experience. But
Scott Frame says Leo Rush got up immediately and he loved it.
Okay, and then Cornette's point too is in this situation is like a booker shouldn't allow that. Leo Rush is going to the WWE. Like, how does the WWE feel about that? And he also does he kind of takes a shot at Leo Rush there as well. So you can listen to it there. But, I mean, this is obviously something that I figured Cornette was going to react to because it is something that he does react to. But I watched the match. It was an awesome match. It entertained the hell out of me. In a traditional sense, what he did, probably wasn't considered right. If you're talking like traditional wrestling. But...
Correct.
Again, wrestling today is just completely different. And the Attitude Era, good or bad, right, wrong. Vince Russo, good, bad, right, wrong. It changed everything.
Sure, it
changed everything. And you can never go back. You can never put the genie back in the bottle. I think is one of the ways it's described. And that's just kind of the world that we live in. So you have to either accept it or not. And should this happen in every match? Absolutely not. That spot shouldn't happen in every match. But in the progression of this match and kind of to the character that Leo Rush has had in CZW lately, I don't think there's anything wrong with the spot.
Right. I think it's his going away spot. I think, like I said,
he's dead inside. How is that going to harm him?
Right. I mean, then again, how would a package pile driver?
Right.
Like, I get that there are flaws there, but I also don't understand just being a fan and just enjoying wrestling. And if it's not your spot, just be like, well, he no-sold that. But it's not like the first time somebody no-sold something. Mark, you've been a wrestling fan for a long, long time. And not to put you on the spot, but I'm sure you can think of times when somebody no-sold something and you're like, God, that doesn't necessarily make sense. Oh, look at Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
hawking up while somebody's just clubbing him down, and he's just hawking up and getting bigger and getting stronger.
Yeah, all the Warrior.
Right, Warrior.
Warrior's shaking the ropes.
Right, somebody's literally pounding him, and it's just no effect.
Right. I mean, it's...
the Hulk Hogan, the whole point, that whole thing, that is... no selling those moves to a much smaller degree. I totally
sure.
get
I mean, they're punches.
While he's hawking up, like I understand the concept of hawking up.
I'm pretty sure there's a match where Hogan takes a chair shot while hawking up, and the chair does nothing to him. It's like,
right.
But at no point was
we're not going to put him on blast on social media and say that he's killing the industry,
like
and killing wrestling.
You know, the Rock versus Hogan, like one of the most famous matches of all time. When you know, Grandpa Hogan, who's clearly, you know, slower, you know, he's not in his prime. The Rock's in his prime,
right?
And like Hogan's hawking up, and the Rock can't do anything to stop him.
Couldn't.
Like,
it's not happening.
Well, the Rock didn't take his vitamins and say his prayers that day.
But so much of wrestling, if you want to be that, if you want to really break it down and get that technical about it, you could literally pick apart like almost every move.
I just want to see. I just want to watch wrestling that's just all wrist locks and ankle locks and headlock submissions and nothing more than that. That's all I want.
Yeah. So you want to watch the UFC?
Oh, right. Never mind.
Right. I mean, like, if you want something real, there's MMA. There's plenty of MMA companies.
Right. Charlie says, "Hey, Sting and Cena do it," and that's very true. Let's catch up here on the Facebook feed.
Don asked if you've lost weight. Oh,
yeah, I have lost some weight. Not recently, but I did since last time I saw him. Don, thank you for noticing.
It's all that trekking around the Hershey Park.
It is
all the hills,
Park.
the hills of Hershey.
Yeah, there's a lot of hills at Hershey.
You got to burn off those milkshakes somehow.
You know what? That's the God's honest truth. I got to burn off those milkshakes.
You put
now, Mark, so people know, because you're not with us every week. You have season passes.
I do. I have a.
How many visits have you had
to Hershey Park in year 2017?
Yeah.
Today was visit number 77.
How many days has the park been open?
Maybe in the 80s or very low 90s.
So you've been there, I mean, almost every day.
Pretty much. I'm on a first name basis with quite a few of the employees anymore.
Now it is very close to your house.
It is. It is.
So it's not like you're driving like 45 minutes to an hour to get to the park every day.
It's
it's on your way home from work.
It's a little bit out of the way going home from work, but it's not far from the my sprawling residence.
Sure.
Hottenstein Estates.
The Hottenstein Estates, the beautiful sprawling gardens.
Now, does this being at Hershey Park impact eating at Haas's? Now that the park is open, is Haas's more of your wintertime playground and Hershey is your summertime playground?
Well, you know what? I hate to tell the folks at Haas's, but this was the first year that Hershey Park offered a season pass meal plan where it was $106. You get 2 meals a day.
That's a steal.
Regular season, limited menu, but still really good variety. So, I go up there and I get myself my 2 meals.
Sure.
And I think the people at Haas's think I might be dead because I have not seen them in a while.
Poor Jenny Penny.
And they set out a search party for you.
I give a shout out to Steve and Jenny Penny and Messy Jesse, all my friends at Haas's. I'm still alive and kicking, and I'll see you guys in.
See you in the winter.
I'll see you at the end of September when my Hershey Park meal plan ends.
I hope they're wrestling fans. Scott Frame asked, "Have we been to Hershey Park or Shady Maple lately?" Scott, there's your answer.
I have not been to either lately.
I haven't either.
I had an opportunity
to get to Shady Maple
for Shady Maple last week, and I did not take it, and I really regret it.
For Dan P's birthday.
Yeah, well, actually, it was. It was Miss Diane P's birthday.
But, Charlie Thrower got the New Japan app, and that is worth $10. He said we were talking about apps, things like that. Scott asked, "Is it Jobber Thursday?" Ellsworth shirt, Gold Dust shirt, and I'm wearing the. It's hard to see, but I'm wearing
this is the Golden Truth shirt, damn it.
You know what? I saw a guy at a Hershey Park wearing that same shirt today, and I complimented him on it.
Dude, it's so awesomely bad.
It really is. It is. My Ellsworth shirt and my Alexa Bliss shirt gets a lot of attention at Hershey.
Okay.
It really does. I get a lot of people that compliment Ellsworth. And also when I had my winter shirt at Hershey, which became soiled from the Great Bear ride.
Andy, that shit happens.
Yeah, I hate to tell you, Andy, I rode the Great Bear after it rained. This was late last year. And
that's the problem, riding it after the rain.
And after the rain, a bunch of grease and whatever else was up there on the ride came down on my winter shirt. But boy, people love that winter shirt. Andy Weinberg.
God. Well,
we'll have to get you a new one.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk to... I was going to say, we need to talk to...
Start a GoFundMe for a new winter shirt for Mark. One of the more affordable shirts in all of indie wrestling.
Yeah, it really is. It's a great shirt.
All right, any more thoughts on the
Charlie said he's going tomorrow, so what ride do you recommend Charlie taking?
Charlie, you're going to HP tomorrow. I would say, First of all, get on the Sky Rush. I think that's the best roller coaster in the park.
Okay.
I would save the laugh track ride till the very end because if you get in line before the park closes, they're going to let you ride, regardless of what time it is.
Oh, good to know.
The Fahrenheit's a great roller coaster. The Granny Bugs, they'll do you in.
They will do you in.
Stay away from the Granny Bugs. Stop by Studio H. And, Ryan, you're an alumni of Studio H.
I am a Studio H alum.
The terrible singing that goes on there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the karaoke studio with inside Hershey Park.
Oh, it's horrendous.
Studio H where you can be the star.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, what kind of fools would do
that's
that?
Years ago, yeah.
There's
video circulating, Jim. There's
I don't think
somewhere
it's
out
circulating.
There.
I would like to see
it's
it.
somewhere, but I don't think it's circulating.
I'd love to see it. Video, what song did you sing, Ryan? Can you tell us that?
We actually didn't sing. We went into the video booth and recorded a dance number to Too Legit to Quit.
Oh my gosh.
It is horrendous. If we find it,
maybe if we get
throw it up.
maybe if we get 50 ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts.
There it is. There it is.
That's it.
There
That's
it is.
perfect.
You gotta tell your friends.
We'll dig that out and share it on the
It's
YouTube.
a much thinner, much younger Big Jim and Ryan.
Okay, much thinner? Thinner.
We both fit into a tiny ass room on camera.
That's true, but I wouldn't say I still wouldn't say much thinner.
We did switch in and out throughout the song because we were out of breath around the 2-minute mark.
I was like, God, this song is.
You guys, this isn't a rib. You two were in a room.
100%. Yeah, this is 100% the truth.
Oh yeah,
singing Too Legit or dancing.
We
to
did
Too.
sing
There was
Too
no
Legit.
singing, but there was dancing
Danced
to MC Hammer at the time because he
No,
dropped the
yeah,
MC.
no shit.
Yeah,
this is not
100%. Legit
This
to
is not a
quit.
rib. This is not a joke.
This
is
is not
real.
a rib,
This is a
folks.
shoot.
Please get out there. What are we looking for? We need some
We
reviews.
need 50 reviews.
Scott asked, there's video circulating of Jim cheering for Roman and singing "I Will Always Love You Too," Roman. I would love to see that video because if that's out there, somebody drugged me without my knowledge, or put a camera up in my living room without my knowledge. One of the two. All right, any more thoughts?
If you think Felicia Rose makes dirty signs to people, you should see Big Jim signs to Roman Reigns.
Oh my
and what he promises.
Weird. Is this getting really weird?
So weird.
Any more thoughts on the Leo Rush from CZW? Any before we move on?
If say back in like '86, if Hogan took a power bomb off a ladder through a table, do you think he'd pop back up too and Hulk up?
See, that's the thing. Like, he didn't take that spot, but that's a great question.
I think he would.
Would he? If it told the story of the immortal
Absolutely.
Hulk Hogan,
He
why
absolutely
wouldn't he
would.
do that?
I think the Hulkster would pop right up too.
I think you're absolutely right.
Look at Ultimate Warrior's return at WrestleMania 12, when at the beginning of the match Triple H pedigrees him and he just stands up.
Right.
Oh, that was it was a terrible match.
It was,
It was
That was just
awful.
awful.
Yeah.
Terrible return too. The
man.
whole Warrior return at that point was bad. But
I don't think the Warrior ever had a good return, except for maybe the Hall of Fame when he came back.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that. That's a solid call. That's a good call.
yeah, because I mean, what he came back at WrestleMania 8 and then was puking and having the green ooze out of his head from Papa Shango right after WrestleMania 8. So yeah, I don't think once that initial run was over with the Ultimate Warrior, there wasn't a lot of great things. All right, let's.
You're absolutely. That wasn't good. But guys, go to highspots.com. You can check out. They have a lot of cool stuff over there at their website. That you can also get to the High Spots digital page where you can check everything out there. For the High Spots Wrestling Network, again, it's $10 a month, $9.99 plus tax, I guess, whatever state you might be living in. But a lot of really cool stuff there. If you're just getting into independent wrestling and want to catch up on some really, really cool stuff, that is the place to do it.
Let's talk a couple things we're on SmackDown from the week. Just a couple of highlights. I love the intro or the open for Raw when you had the Miz Taraj with Brock Lesnar and just whatever Miz is getting paid. I don't think it's enough. Like that guy will just he literally would do anything that's asked of him. It's like Miz, how we're kind of doing this push with the Miz Taraj. Yeah, Brock Lesnar is going to throw you guys around for about 5 minutes. All right, sounds good. I
think you're right. He probably would do anything that he's asked. Like,
why
hey,
wouldn't
here's
he?
Bo Dallas, the Curtis Axel, make him a star. Oh,
Why the hell wouldn't he though?
do I have to?
But why? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Well, like what? Why wouldn't he?
I agree with you. Probably the best heel on Raw,
Yeah, I think without a doubt.
without a doubt.
But I thought it. I mean, the Toronto crowd actually because they were in Air Canada Center Monday and Tuesday.
Correct.
I thought the crowd for both nights was really good, and I can't stress it enough. And I mean, whether it's the product is good enough to support it or the crowd just plays along well, because there has been good shows that the crowd has just sucked for. And I think the one that stands out to me is when Jake the Snake returned in a surprise at the Vintage Raw or whatever they called it from Baltimore. It sounded like nobody was even there.
Right.
And it's just like
Dean Ambrose enjoyed that moment.
Absolutely.
Wasn't CM
Talk about
Punk
no
was there
selling
too.
a snake. What?
Wasn't CM Punk in the ring with?
Yeah, it was
Jake?
Punk and the Shield. Punk. I know the Shield. The Shield got beat up.
I CM Punk there.
But yeah, it was Punk was in the ring. Because I feel like Punk. You can see him if you go back and watch it. I think Punk even because Ambrose is like grinning like a kid.
Absolutely.
And I think Punk whispered to him you might want to sell this. He whispers something because then you see Ambrose's face trying to get real serious, but the smile's still cracking through. But
what did they call that? It wasn't Throwback Raw. What the hell was it called? You know what I'm talking about? That's
old school.
Old school.
I should know. I was at the one at Hershey,
right,
in 2010 or something.
I'd love to see one of them come out. They haven't done one in a while, quite some time.
That might have been the last one.
It might have
been
honest. Actually. Let's bring it back.
But I thought Raw started really well.
Yeah, I agree. Was Brock scheduled to be there? Announced?
I don't remember him being announced.
So that was a nice surprise, and I think I'm still adjusting to him not coming out the pyro. I'm pretty much okay with everybody else but Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
I
wait for it every time because I'm like, if they're gonna use it for anybody, and they aren't gonna use it because you have to if you're gonna use it for him, you might as well use it otherwise because you're gonna have the payment in the company. But yeah, it is weird. Him coming out, that the spot at the ramp just seems so empty without it.
We keeping you up, Ryan?
No. I was deferring to you. I was deferring to you with a yawn. I apologize.
I like the Miz. Was it the Miz Taraj?
Miz Taraj.
Oh yeah, I thought that was a great opening segment. Fantastic. I always liked the Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, and
I think there's potential with this.
Oh, I think so too. I think
I
think hopefully those guys finally kind of get over.
I think, Matt, you would agree probably the best open to Raw ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
100%. They just get better and better every week.
Every week.
Good Jim getting animated.
Look at this. Let's get into everybody.
Main event was the last man standing match, Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. Probably my favorite part of that match was the desk chair.
Yes.
That Braun threw Roman Reigns. I think it is the only way to describe that.
Threw. You just didn't
threw it through him.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just doing the repeater.
No. Of course, the lasting impact to some people was the fact that at the end you had Strowman was being counted down. The referee got to 9, and that's when Samoa Joe grabbed Roman Reigns right at the entranceway. Samoa Joe was in the crowd, and people got very upset that the referee stopped counting. And I'm like, well, he was seeing what was happening to Roman Reigns. That's how I took the spot.
Okay.
Because honest to God, watching it, I thought at first, and it was the way that the video was shot and what camera was cut to at the time. I honest to God thought a fan grabbed Roman Reigns.
Okay.
But then quickly you realize it was Samoa Joe. But I enjoyed the match. Something about those two guys beat the shit out of each other really well.
Braun and
Roman.
Okay, I agree with that. They definitely have good ass-kicking chemistries. Scott had said that it was announced on Saturday that Brock was going to be on Miz TV.
Okay.
So that actually was announced. I must have missed that. And he had said thank God for Joe. And that there's apparently a meme going around with the desk chair getting thrown like a dodgeball. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge it. I guess something like that. I'll have to look at that. I didn't actually see that.
I missed that one.
But yeah, they are putting on some pretty good matches, and nobody's kind of given the credit to Roman Reigns for doing that. Again, look, a year ago, we just talked about this recently. Braun Strowman, a year ago, got moved to Raw on the Superstar Shakeup. And it was, oh, God, this is going to be the death of Braun Strowman.
Right.
Like, this guy's not going to be able to stand on himself. Like,
right, because you're
he's
breaking away from the Wyatts.
family. What a dumb move. Like, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, they'll be fine with the Wyatt family. But why would you put Braun Strowman over?
Why would you put?
I'm sorry, that was on the draft.
Really reacting like that.
I was. It was the draft, not the Superstar.
No, I think a lot of people were.
I really wasn't reacting like that. I just thought it was going to be. We're going to see this big guy just not become what he's become. Let me put it that way. I think he is well outkicked his coverage to be in the main event spot.
I think the push was always expected just because he's big and that's what Vince likes. I think the way he's handled it has been the surprising point because he's put on great matches consistently.
That's fair.
Okay, yeah.
God damn, he's vascular.
God, he's like 8 feet tall. Damn it.
Vince loves his big guys.
And he was on Cheap Heat this week. I heard him, and I think I talked about when he was on the Austin podcast months ago.
That Austin podcast was actually a really good listen.
Every time I hear him in interviews, him and Bray Wyatt as well, and I don't know if Bray kind of encouraged him to be this way, but some guys will be totally kayfabe, some guys will be not at all. Like when I listen to an interview with Bray Wyatt, even if it's in a real life setting, he's just kayfabed enough where you don't know if does this guy really buy into it that much, or what? I love the way those guys conduct interviews.
So it's kind of like how you podcast.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
What the hell do you mean?
Like, are you kayfabing us right now, Jim? Or are you shooting with us? I don't know. You're blurring the lines.
Ryan, I'm talking.
Oh shit! Is that all you're doing?
Yeah.
Shit. Never mind. I gave you way too much credit for that one. Then my apologies. I thought you were like storytelling and talking.
Why? I'm not.
Just fucking with you, Jim. I'm sorry. I'm just having fun with you tonight. I expected Braun to be very much like the Great Khali. I see your middle finger down there. You don't have to put it down below the desk to give me the middle finger, Jim. There it is. Thank you.
I didn't actually flick him off until he made me.
3 seconds ago.
That was a shoot.
Oh, there it was. Oh, we're so bad. Ooh. Watch out. We shoot here on the perfect podcast.
This is where the show starts turning.
Usually during the Raw
so
segments.
Is the last man standing stipulation worse than the I quit stipulation?
Only if the referee doesn't count to 10.
No. Yeah, the I quit with Kyoto coming up every 2 seconds. Do you want to give up?
Do you give up?
If he didn't do that, after every basic move, I think the I quit match would be a little better. But I mean, a basic, I don't know, Irish whip into the corner. Do you give up? So I get that's annoying, but all that aside, I think the I quit match is better than the last man standing match because the ending of the last man standing is rarely someone just gets knocked out. There's always handcuffs or the announce table rested on top of them or something stupid.
All right, I see what you're saying.
I mean, this one though just had them laying down on the entrance ramp,
and Braun sprouting up at 9.5, oh shit, I gotta get up.
Right after laying there
for 9.5 seconds,
29.5 seconds maybe.
Oh yeah, that's true. He was down there for a while.
Do you have a problem with the ref? Was that a mistake? I mean, he was counting.
I don't think it's any different than just breaking the count.
So the idea is the referee realized somebody's attacking Roman Reigns, turned his attention away. It was Samoa Joe in a no DQ match. So when they both became prone on the ground again, you start to count at 1.
Yeah, that's how I took it.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, people were saying that it was an error or a mistake from the referee, and I didn't take it that way either.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay. You know what we're talking about? Is there any issue with that? I mean, Braun was down for significantly longer than 10 seconds. Like, nobody will
absolutely.
deny
He was
that.
absolutely down for longer than.
But I think that could also fit into the storyline, like that gives Roman Reigns fuel in the future.
In the Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam?
Right. That I actually
They were a
did
week
beat
and a
him.
half
He was
away.
laying there significantly longer
Sure.
than 10 seconds. I should have been the winner of this match.
Yeah.
Let's catch up
What
with
was the point of the match? Like, was there anything involved?
I think the point was that they beat each other down. They
No, I
both
get
would have
that. I
lost.
just didn't know. I couldn't remember if there was like something that.
No, there wasn't any
no stipulation.
Yeah, there was no it didn't have any impact on.
That was your main event.
SummerSlam or whatever. Yeah, it was just that.
A teaser toward WrestleMania or SummerSlam. Scott says he feels bad for the Colognes. That they got zero reaction when they came out after numerous vignettes. That's the damn truth.
Yeah, well.
It just was
All right,
Braun to Khali. Somebody said is like an insult.
Well, I think you meant you were talking about like a year ago.
Well, that's somebody else said it. It wasn't even me. But yes.
He seemed like just a big guy.
Correct, a big guy, and I think it would have faulted. But
and really, he like his first time. His first match was when he was in the WWE. Like he didn't work in NXT at all.
Right, and Charlie, we kind of we touched on it because that's who originally said it. That he meant that it was split from the Wyatts, expecting him to kind of just be this big guy, and just be used as that.
Right.
Ralph had asked, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, I did share it on the 3 Count Thursday page on Facebook, facebook.com/3 Count Thursday. Have you guys seen the skit where Braun Strowman reads a part from the movie Juno?
No, I've heard people talk about it. I haven't watched it.
It's shared up there. It's actually pretty. Have you seen Juno?
I saw Juno, but I didn't
the movie.
see
It's actually pretty funny. They were talking about the moment when she realized she was pregnant.
Okay.
So it's actually a pretty funny
I'll
clip.
have to
Check it
check
out
that
at facebook.com/3 Count Thursday. Scott asked, do we know anything about the beef between Baron Corbin and Dave Meltzer?
No.
I haven't heard anything, Scott, about
I have
that.
no idea. If you have a link, Scott, maybe
drop us a link. Let us know.
Yeah, I have no idea about that. Real quick, Bailey, you confirmed she's not going to be at SummerSlam injured.
Boo.
So I guess now there's a match on Monday, Sasha Banks and versus Nia Jax for the number one contender spot at SummerSlam. But now Monday in Toronto, Bailey was booed during her like speech announcing that she was out of the match.
And Thursday in Lancaster County, she was booed as well.
Are you booing Bailey or booing the injury?
I'm booing the injury, and
Okay.
I think that's what they were booing. I don't think they were actually booing the Bailey.
Okay.
I think they were disappointed in her not being able to be there, and they represented their disappointment with boos.
Okay.
I don't think they were actually booing Bailey the character.
Okay.
They might have been. She's dead in the water at Raw.
Yeah, I kind of thought that as well. Like I think her character is in trouble. I actually think, not that I ever want to see anybody get hurt, but I think this injury couldn't have come at a better time. I know that sounds really weird for Bailey.
Okay.
She's going to be away for a little while, and maybe they can kind of retool her a little bit for when she comes back.
How do you retool Bailey? Like, her gimmick is that of like a 6-year-old that hugs everybody.
I know.
A 6-year-old that like kicks everybody in their shin and just make her heel. Like, what do you do?
What if she got some different inflatable wavy things?
Or you just come out and she stabs them. So
I
they
think we said that the other week. We just stabbed them to death. I don't know, but
and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, this Bailey's not nice. Boo.
It could be. I don't know.
I just feel like that's the reason they booed her. But I can also see how you guys are saying like, not a lot good going on for Bailey right now.
Poor Bailey.
No, Goldust alluding to a reveal of sorts. I can't remember if he said it's this Monday or if at SummerSlam, his next big project. And I think that there's a lot of talk, at least on the internet world, that he may be transitioning to kind of a manager type. And one name that I see keep coming up from people is that they would love to see him kind of paired with Summer Rae.
She's still. I didn't know
she's
she was
still
around.
She's still.
What?
Are they rumors from Matt?
No. I haven't seen Matt tweet this at all.
Tweeting that. Please put with Summer Rae. I didn't even know she was still with the WWE.
She is still with the WWE.
Yeah,
but
she's just hurt.
She's injured still?
Yeah.
What did she hurt?
I have no idea.
It just seems like she's been
Shoulder?
gone forever.
Yeah. I don't know.
She's training with Brian Kendrick, Ryan.
For Christ's sake. Don't make me hit that drop button again, Matt. What's your initial thought on Goldust being more of a manager? I don't know that character would work as a manager.
I think you have to keep him in character. I don't think people are going to really care enough.
Well, no,
about
I don't think you're ever to see Dustin Rhodes
right.
in the WWE. But
maybe bring him back as 7.
Yeah, that's probably not going
to work. There ought to be your WCW. There's a WCW for you.
I think he was one, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a WCW.
Was he really?
7 was. Yes, he
one
was.
of your WC. Oh,
he was.
Probably
he
check out the archives at 3countthursday.com.
That's www.3countthursday.com.
What a dick. But could you? Do you think that would work? I mean, I guess he could be on the outside as a director.
I suppose that's what you'd have to do. But Summer Rae, God.
That's just a name that I see a lot of people talking about. That's not my idea.
Who would you put him with?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Titus O'Neil?
He should be part of the Titus brand.
He's the mastermind behind Titus Worldwide. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I think we're obviously well aware that he's at the tail end of his wrestling career.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Summer Rae, God, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I don't know who else you put him with.
Yeah, I don't.
He would have been great maybe with Eva Marie.
Probably.
Crimson and Gold.
We'll never know.
They go well together.
We'll never know now.
Yeah,
No.
well, we will never know.
It's a shame.
They never say never in wrestling. SmackDown Live, you had the open Cena and Corbin. I actually Corbin has new music, which I actually really enjoyed, and I thought,
yes.
And again, I think I even tweeted it out. It's not like it's hard to beat, but I think this was Corbin's probably best promo he's ever had.
That I agree with.
It'd be interesting, I think, to see what happens here with Cena and Corbin if Cena puts him over and then heads over to Raw, because he's being advertised for Raw shows after SummerSlam.
Yeah, I heard he's going to Raw.
Well, he's a free agent, isn't he?
He is a free agent. Big match, free agent John.
Charlie, I would have loved Goldust with Dalton Castle. That'd be great.
Oh my God!
Oh, that would be good.
The Fashion Peaks saga continues. Ryan's actually come around on them.
Let me.
Having
here's
the
the deal. I usually shit and joke about this, but this is probably one of the better starts to SmackDown Live because of that Corbin promo that we saw. I usually throw my jab in there, but I really do think this was Corbin's greatest promo so far, and I do really enjoy his new music. Fits him much better.
Yeah,
much
I think
better.
so too. James Ellsworth returns.
Well, we skipped Fashion Peaks.
Okay,
I don't want you to skip that.
I'm sorry, Fashion Peaks.
Who do you think attacked Fandango, intern Mark, in the flesh?
Man, you're putting me on the spot here. I
Right on
really
the spot. Pick you up, put you on the spot.
right on the spot.
Facebook, who do you think attacked
really-
Fandango and abducted him?
I don't even have a guess.
No guess.
I honestly don't know at this point. Do you have a guess, Ryan? Matt?
Yeah,
do either
it's
of you?
absolutely Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. There's a reason we haven't seen them on TV for a while.
Okay.
It's unfortunate, but it is. Unless everybody got the clue way too much with the Maplewood
And WWE's like, damn it.
Rose thing. Whoa, shit, hot pen.
Hot pen. Scratch it
I'm
out.
gonna watch. Hold on, I'm gonna watch this on the live feed.
Yeah, it's gotta come. Where is it?
There it went.
Hot
Just
pen.
happened there. The feed's a couple seconds behind that we're watching, but that was.
I just
great.
imagine that everybody watching it is just scrolling back. I guess that once the live feed is over, you can't scroll back on
Charlie
the live
says Harper and Rowan as well.
Okay.
Now, what do you think Harper's been up to?
I have no clue. Probably just resting.
Resting up, maybe.
You know,
it is Thursday.
It's Thursday. You know what that means. Do you follow him on Twitter?
No, I don't.
You
but
don't?
I probably should.
Pull up his Twitter right now.
I'm pulling it up right now.
And it's probably the greatest Twitter. It's almost as good as John Cena's Instagram.
You follow John Cena on Instagram.
And
you
then,
don't? Mark, you got to get.
Oh my
with
God,
this
you have to
stuff.
follow John Cena on Instagram as well. But go to
Look
Harper's.
Look up Luke Harper.
And then Randy Orton main event. Randy Orton defeated the WWE champion Jinder Mahal. Why?
Hold on, we're looking at this.
It's Thursday. You know what that means.
What did he say yesterday?
Oh shoot! It's Wednesday. You know what that means.
What about on Tuesday?
Just scroll.
It's
Just start
Tuesday,
scrolling,
you know
and
what
I'll
that
say
means.
stop.
It's Monday. You know what that means.
That's all he tweets every single day.
Every single day.
It's the
Well, I'm
greatest.
certainly going to follow him.
Absolutely. In case you ever wondered what day it was, Luke Harper coming
Luke
through in
Harper
the clutch
confirms for you.
every single time.
Why the hell
That's great.
Why the hell did Randy Orton beat Jinder Mahal clean?
That's a great question.
That is a good question. I wonder that as well.
That RKO out of nowhere, out of the Colossus was something else,
Like,
though.
I mean, what the hell?
Send those Toronto fans home happy, I guess.
I guess.
There's really no rhyme or reason to it.
No, it's stupid. Orton should not be pinning the WWE champion clean.
So we're all over Randy Orton. We're just over him. Just stop.
Just stop. Yeah, no,
Stop.
just no more.
Should I really be following John Cena on Instagram?
Dude, it's random stuff every single day.
All right, here we
It's
go.
a great follow.
Look
Just
that up.
scroll through it. There's no rhyme or reason to what he's posting either.
It's not a great follow. Like, it's
Okay,
clever, but
it's not as
great
good as
got
following
Mario
3
Brothers.
Count Thursday, but it's pretty good.
Oh, there's Soda Popinski.
Yeah.
It's straight up Mark's alley.
Oh, Jiminy Cricket on an 8. Okay, I like this.
Told you.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, I like this. There's Jiminy Cricket on an 8.
we found the audience for the John Cena
There's
Instagram.
the shark fin.
So if you we're gonna
This stuff.
try and stay on track for the last 8
What
minutes.
the hell? What is this?
Right? It's so
Look
good.
at this guy.
Oh my God! It's like half Tiger Woods and half something else.
Real quick, you said about James Ellsworth making his return. We don't take a ton of stuff too seriously here. An hour ago, James Ellsworth posted, rest in peace to the greatest grandfather any grandson could ask for. Thank you for taking me to my first wrestling event as a kid, and many more after that. I'll continue to make you proud. Love you. So, James, our thoughts and prayers with you and your family.
Yes, absolutely.
With the loss of your grandfather.
So apparently, Enzo, in real life, has not been making a whole lot of friends, and at least in terms of the business and into the WWE. We talked a few weeks back about how he was kicked off of the tour bus in Europe. The reason, I guess, behind some of that is he had some visitors that he brought backstage that kind of broke locker room etiquette by filming and taking pictures of wrestlers in the back. The Enzo, who's now 30 and has been around, he should have known better. Also, there's been I don't know if it's a rumor or if he's been kind of venturing into the music business. I don't know what I don't know to what degree. But apparently he's been venturing into the music business, which could create a conflict with WWE and could potentially land him in some hot water and potentially be let go by the WWE. It says here, this is an article in Sports Illustrated, the issues were exacerbated when Corey Graves and John Bradshaw Layfield discussed his erratic behavior on the WWE network-produced Bring It to the Table show. The show is scripted and subjects are pre-approved by Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon, so it was agreed beforehand that Amore would be criticized on the show. So, obviously, you split up Enzo and Cass. Enzo has kind of definitely been booked to, I think, look of the worse in that split. And it might have to do with a lot of real life situations. So
Yeah, I've
something to watch.
I've heard he's quite a doucher. So there's been a couple shoot interviews that I've seen.
I get.
Yeah, Mighty Boss Stones.
How you doing?
Now, are you talking about the Simon Gotch ones?
Yeah. Simon Grimm, sir.
Sorry, the formerly known as Simon Gotch, who, in and of himself, there's been a lot of, at least rumors that he is, not the most liked guy in the room
quite a douche as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's also very true.
Two issues I have with this story is, A, why would him being involved in the music business be an issue? Like,
right, that I don't know. Yeah,
who's gonna buy a
B,
goddamn Enzo
who
CD?
The fuck is John Layfield to be calling anyone out for their shit? Like, isn't he also a renowned douche?
A renowned asshole.
Well, bullies do that. I think that's something bullies do.
I was gonna say that.
You better watch it, or we'll get blocked on too fucking late for that.
Mark, have you been blocked by JBL?
Mark blocked?
You know what? Let me look on Twitter.
JC Layfield is his Twitter page.
Real quick, let me.
I could infiltrate. Let's see.
Let me circle around. We were talking about the Joey Ryan Dick and then the Leo Rush thing. I just saw this. Everybody's seen the thumb up the butt spot from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Where they stick the thumbs up the ass.
Oh, yeah.
Jushin Thunder Liger, Tommaso Ciampa.
Yes.
There's a ton of people. I think Matt Riddle was involved. Ciampa just an hour ago reposted this on his Facebook page. That video has got 1.7 million views. This was a match in 2016. 2 months later, I was part of WWE's Match of the Year. I hope that one day the people who complain that spots or indie guys are killing the business realize just how silly they sound. Oh, and Jushin Liger is a legend. 1.7 million views later, and the guy was part of WWE's Match of the Year. I mean, just think about it.
Well, and
again, it was a crazy, stupid spot. I mean, Matt Riddle was there. They were just
here's the thing:
thumbs up each other's butt.
Guys
it's
like the Cornette type of guys that are going to sit here and say that spots on indie wrestling and some bits of it. And I get that there are there's a pretty broad spectrum from your top tier to your lowest tier independent wrestling. But let's look at the WWE right now. You're basically your main event for SummerSlam. There's like a 50% chance that either Samoa Joe or Braun Strowman comes out of there with the title. So either an indie guy or like a new guy. You have AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. Like probably your two of your hottest commodities in the entire company, former indie guys. I mean, look at the number of indie guys that are absolutely thriving in the WWE right now.
Right.
Like don't you can't sit there and tell me like that indie wrestling is killing the business. Like it is one of the dumbest takes out there.
100% agree.
All right, I really have nothing else, guys.
The Rock posted a video today. I don't know if you saw that
from his
page.
Right?
I don't know.
Was it about how gray his beard is?
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Freaking seen pictures of that guy?
I'm going to share the video right now to our Facebook page. If you haven't seen it, go check it out after you watch our conclusion to our show, obviously. But it's posted up there. It says sometimes the goal we've worked our ass for years is never reached, I believe, or is never achieved. But yeah, huge gray beard. It's totally weird looking.
Freaks me out, man.
God, it does.
Like the guy can't afford just for men.
Just shave the beard, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, unless he's letting it go gray for a movie role or something.
He ain't doing it for a wrestling show. That's for damn sure.
But yeah, I mean, we wouldn't want him with this show. Bury the shit out of people.
45, like.
Well, I know, but it just.
Well, that's the wrong side of 40.
Gray.
I'm aware of that. I'm also aware hair goes away. Like that happened to me. That's happened to me at 32. But it just it's.
Mark's got a luscious set of hair. There's no grays up there. I mean, his beard is a little salty.
I got a few.
Little salt and pepper.
How old are you,
I've got
Mark?
a couple.
I'm 42. My birthday's in about 2 months. It's not too early to think about gifts.
Really?
All right, we'll start thinking. We'll get the Get the. I think you can make like a wish list on WWE shops. Maybe.
Ooh, all right, I can do that.
Maybe some of the 3 Count fans will.
Yeah, there's probably some MFers out there, Mark followers.
Jeez, I can't touch that. That's
that's gonna do it. Matt, obviously we know this week's Woman of the Week. Do you have next week's pick?
I do. Let me pull that up quick.
Mark.
Next week will be Priscilla Kelly. This week's was obviously Madi Maxx. 3 Count Thursday on the Instagram page. Like the photos, that counts as a vote. Whoever has the most at the end of the year will be our Women of the Year, and we will make a donation to the charity of that woman's choosing.
Absolutely, and again, where can they follow your America's Got Talent rants?
You can follow me on Twitter at 3CT, the letter A. Philly is in Philadelphia, and then the number 8. Beware, Notre Dame season's kicking off.
It's 3 weeks and 2 days, 23 days till Matt gets angry about something besides singers on a reality show.
This year, Matt, you're a big Sixer fan. The anger shouldn't be so much placed with the Sixers, correct? We should be on the rebound finally.
Should finally be on the
basketball
rebound.
That was a good one. I didn't even think of that. What was your answer, Matt? Jim talked over you. He's the host. He can do that.
Oh, yeah. And Jim doesn't care about basketball. So.
No, he doesn't.
But yes, on the rebound.
On the rebound. There it was.
All right, Matt. We will see you on Saturday at PWE.
Yep. See you guys this weekend.
All right. See you, man.
Take it easy, Matt.
Bye, Matthew.
And that show is free, correct?
Free on Saturday at 11 a.m. in the East at Gold's Gym in Harrisburg.
For free.
Check out our page. We have a link to the Pro Wrestling Empire Facebook page with all the details on that show. Of course, the meet and greet, pictures and autographs with Diamond Dallas Page. There is a cost there, and for the food trucks, but everything else, the wrestling show is free. Your chance to come out and talk to us is free. Yeah, don't worry, we're not going to make you pay. But it's going to be a great event this Saturday. Tons of great independent wrestling. Again, go to 3countthursday.com to check out all this stuff there. Mark.
Hi.
It's fun having you in studio, man.
Thanks for having me in here.
Dude, Sue says she knows many MFers.
I'll give a shout out to Sue Spangler and my good friend Charlie. Congratulations, Charlie, on your engagement.
Yeah. I think we said
To
that
the,
a week or two
oh,
ago.
did we?
Too.
You
weren't here.
You weren't
I wasn't here. He's engaged to Denise with a Y.
Yes, Denise with a Y.
Denise with a Y.
That's how she spells it. Denise with a Y.
With a Y.
Right.
That's how she spells it. And that's exactly how she. One time I was getting an autograph from Solo Darling.
Oh yeah.
And I said it's Mark with a K. She wrote out to Mark with a K.
Nice.
It's my favorite autograph ever.
Now you love the Solo Darling.
Oh, I love Solo Darling.
Absolutely, I'd love to see her back around this area. She hasn't been around for a while.
I don't think we've seen her since.
We need to get Solo Darling.
She got
back.
hurt at
Woodland Creature. Yeah, she needs to
Lancaster.
come back.
Yeah,
she was in Legacy. I think their first show.
Oh boy, the first show.
Is that where she was? The first show.
Legacy's
No,
first show
it wasn't
was
the first show. It must have been the second because I was at the first show and she wasn't there.
All right.
The first time I had actually seen her live was
who
at
wrestled
Lancaster.
Kimberly in the first show then for Legacy?
Oh, damn it!
I'm sure it was.
It was not Solo Darling.
How many in the net shows did they do? Did they do 2?
He did 2.
They did 2 back to back.
Because I know she was at In the Net.
Yeah, that's where it was. It was the second show.
Yeah, it was the second one. The first one. Shit, who did? Man.
Hanaya the Howling.
That's right.
Hanaya,
I was gonna say I knew it wasn't.
Yeah,
Solo.
I was trying to look it up. I didn't get it to in time.
The first time I saw Solo Darling was at the show in Lancaster, the KPW show.
That's right. She was at KPW.
She got hurt.
She was at Atomic a few times.
Yeah, Solo Darling.
Yeah, she's one of my absolute favorites.
She's taller than a stack of pancakes.
Yeah, I think I actually met her and got like an autograph and a picture like on her birthday.
I think I did too. I remember
it was up in Reading, I think, for Atomic. It was
it was your birthday. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Yeah, we love Solo Darling here.
I have something for you guys. Can I?
Oh, absolutely.
Is there if I break it out?
You brought us a gift?
I brought you a gift.
Oh,
Devin said Mark suck. That's not nice, Devin.
What Devin say?
That's
Devin,
not nice at all.
Oh. Devin, I don't have anything for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
No, don't be sorry. You said you suck.
All right, I take it back. I'm not sorry.
Yeah, don't be
He's not
sorry.
What do you got for us here, Mark? It's exciting.
I stopped by the market.
Oh, okay.
And we got fresh. These are whoopie pies, folks.
Now, are these
straight? You know where they're from?
Are these legit?
These are legit. They're from the county's best.
Oh
whoopie
my God!
Pie. Home of the county's best whoopie pie.
Oh my God!
Murrian's Pies every Tuesday at Roots Market.
Oh my God!
So we got raspberry, which is in season. Black raspberry.
Black
Or
raspberries.
peach. Do you have a preference?
Oh my God! The peach. Gotta
Oh
go
my
with
gosh.
the peach.
Hold that up to the camera, Jim. Take a look
Here,
at
hold
that.
it up, Jim.
Folks, look
Smokey,
at that.
how about you?
I'm a
You're-
peach guy myself.
You're a peach guy?
I really am.
That's legit right there. The peach.
Look
the peach
at
filling.
that.
Oh my
Look at
God!
this.
Oh my goodness! I
How's
cannot
Murray
wait.
do it? I don't know.
How does she pack so much fresh fruit into this? I can't wait to dive into this.
Yeah, this is going to be magic once the show goes
sure
off
will.
air. Now, Mark, I know. I mean, if people are following along with you on your social medias, now you were at the Leesport yesterday. Did you find the pizza?
The pizza, I did see the pizza stand. I did not partake in it. It was very crowded.
Oh my God, it is. It gets busy.
It was hopping in there.
It is.
Leesport.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We're past the 11:30 mark. I'm sure. Oh, Devin says he was just kidding. Mark is awesome.
Devin, go on. You're going to make me blush.
All right, so Mark, where can people follow you at?
You know what? I'm a little more active on the
Oh my goodness,
Twitter.
that smells so good.
The Twitter 3 Count Intern. That would be me. Give me a follow.
Oh God.
I post wrestling stuff. Sometimes not wrestling stuff.
All right, 3 Count Intern. Ryan is at RYN Eagle. He has a mouthful.
So damn good. Yeah.
He has a mouthful
Yeah.
of whoopie pie.
Close it for me.
I'm gonna close this thing up. You guys can wave or smile or what have you in the background. Your mics are off now. But I am at Big Jim Sports. You can follow the show at 3 Count Thursday, and that is on Facebook. That is on Twitter. That is on Instagram. We have a Snapchat when we're at shows. We'll throw some snaps up there. That is 3 Count Thursday. But you can find the links to everything at 3countthursday.com. We have everything you need to see and everything you need to know there. So make sure you check that out. We have a voicemail for the show as well. I forgot to say it at the top. 814-893-2790. Again, 814-893-2790. If you have anything you want to get heard on the show but can't watch and call in live, you can do that. We have a Patreon page. We have T-shirts, all sorts of merchandise actually over at whatamaneuver.net. Again, links to everything, guys, at 3countthursday.com. Make sure you check that out. We are part of ngscsports.com. Go to that website as well. And we stream daily at leapsports.com. Subscribe to us, follow us, share us, let everybody know. And we greatly appreciate all the support, guys. We will hopefully see you Saturday in Harrisburg at PWE. If not, we will talk to you next week live right back here on Facebook, facebook.com/3CountThursday.